Hello, everybody, and welcome to Leverage here on the Shadowcasters Network. And we're back for episode 3. So this is our penultimate episode for the season.
Yeehaw!
Wow.
So I'm Oz. Hello, I will be your game master, or otherwise what in the Leverage RPG is known as the Fixer. Leverage, for those of you who don't know, is based on the TV show Leverage. It's a caper TV show of a group of very rich and retired criminals who are now using their powers of bad guy stuff for good guy stuff to help the poor and disenfranchised. So, let's go ahead and introduce everybody, starting with Scrim. Tell us who you are and the character that you're playing.
Hello, I'm Scrim, and I am playing Marika. She is a short, athletic-looking woman in her mid-40s, and she is from Czech Republic, and
I thought it was Bulgaria.
she is the nope, not Bulgaria, although she did time in Belgium. But she is the mastermind of the group.
All right. Bub, who are you? Who are you playing?
I'm Bub, and I'm playing Dean. Dean is the group's hitter and king of acting recklessly and winging it all the way through everything. I'm not really sure there's a better way to explain that other than he comes up with the really, really bad ideas, including pimping out the rest of the crew. Somehow works. And very, we'll pass it along. You'll see. You'll check it out live.
Sabrina, who are you? What do you do? And rather, who you play?
Today I am playing Sloan, our hacker extraordinaire. She is a master of many things, not like super important things, except for the computer stuff. But you know, she's good. She's like really good. And she's very confident, but also prone to rambunctious behavior. And you know, she likes to have fun. She likes to like fuck shit up. That's okay.
Yeah. And finally, Bobby, who are you and who you playing?
My name is Bobby, and I am playing Clementine, the flirtatious but straight to the point, no straight to business grifter of the group. She has so far been sometime for good and sometime for not. The one who goes in with a like tries to be the what do you call it, like she tries to clinch a situation, right? Like things are going maybe not the way that they should be, and she tries to use her charm and personality and her forceful attitude and personality to turn things for the better. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But she does have an orange Lamborghini now, which is definitely her style.
That's true. That orange Lamborghini.
That says a lot about who she is.
That orange.
Handy.
Yeah, no, that orange Lamborghini that you stole from what's his face. That from Rico Blanco.
Yeah.
Well-deserved orange Lamborghini, which actually, why don't we? I kind of want this. I want like I want Bobby to give me a here. Let's see. Let's do a. I'm trying to find the right song for this. Give me okay. I want you to give me a scene of you driving in this orange Lamborghini and who you're with. With everybody.
Yes.
Fuck it. With everybody. You're driving and you've got everybody in this Lamborghini.
Top down.
Yes.
I feel like Dean is probably in the front seat because while they're not, I feel like with the way things have gone, Dean and Clementine are platonically flirtatious with each other. You know, like they're the ones that try to, again, for good or ill, use their sex appeal in one way or another. Constantly so far.
I have a very important question.
Yeah.
Is Dean wearing a shirt?
If he is, and he's in this Lambo, there's not a button that can even contain him at this point. So he's just riding open here.
Just need that visual. Okay, there it is.
We're definitely cruising. What's that street that the rooftop bar is on?
Ocean. You're definitely not cruising on Ocean Drive. That's like traffic constantly. But you could be cruising on the 95.
Sure, we're cruising wherever cruising can be done. Finding like Clementine's looking for like Jeeps full of, you know, like 20-something dudes, and just like cruising alongside them and like winking at them and like, you know, toying and flirting with people and just completely soaking in this Lamborghini that she's just gotten.
Yeah, and of course, you know, you get like a lot of head turns of like everybody with their hair like whipping in the wind, tops down, and like this very odd but also very like successful group of ne'er-do-wells enjoying their stroll down the Miami highway. And then what's everyone else feeling in this Lamborghini? What you doing?
I think that Marika's sitting behind Clementine, and her very long blonde hair keeps like flat, like going in Marika's face, and she's wearing sunglasses.
For sure, because like, Clementine keeps doing this all the time, like.
And she's like not paying attention. She's looking at her phone, and then every once in a while she goes, "Oh, Clementine." Clementine.
She can't hear you. There's wind.
She's like trying to like tuck it into like the seat. It's just like in her face.
I think that Sloane is. She's wearing like massive sunglasses and like everything is covered, trying to be out of the sun as much as possible. Like vampire in Florida. Chic. And Sloane's just getting, I have like a little umbrella open in front of me. Like a little one of the little ones that you put on your head when you're selling stuff on the street. Fruits.
The umbrella hats?
Yes, the umbrella hats. But I have
like
it
umbrella
like...
and it's a hat. What's it called?
Do you know? Wait, everyone knows what we're talking about, right? Because I don't know if this is just like, okay.
Yeah.
But it's kind of tilted this way because Dean's sweat is just like...
His pheromones, his aura of masculinity.
It's just like
we live in an age where people can sell bathwater. I should be bottling that and shipping it.
So we're just getting the negative effects of teammates' incredible attraction.
I would think Dean is probably at this point. You're used to seeing vehicles where like dogs are hanging out the window. Dean's holding on to Zilla, just like letting Zilla with his little mouth open, letting the wind catch his maw.
I love it. I wish Zilla. Should we give Zilla? We should give Zilla a signature. He should be an asset. Make Zilla a D6 asset.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So if you ever end up using him, you get a bonus D6.
Good to know.
Did we make this clear to the chat? Zilla is the baby alligator that Dean acquired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love it. I love how like each job you take home a little souvenir. One's a little baby gator and one's an orange Lamborghini. So Marika, you get a ping on your phone that says, "I'm here," and you realize, oh shit, your client is early.
Okay, so I claw my way through Clementine's voluminous hair, and lean up to her ear and say, "We need to get back. Our client is early. Can you show us what this thing can do?" She's actually maybe a little bit excited.
All right. Well, you asked for it.
All right, let's do a driving test. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's do alertness because you're in Miami traffic, and driver would go on. What would driver go under? Probably under hacker.
Hacker? Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
like hacker has like a hitter. Hitter hacker is a driver. Remember when Paige was gonna play?
Oh,
She was-
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe.
Either way, they're D4 for me. So
Yeah.
Oh, so Clementine's a bad driver.
Shit.
This is gonna be awesome.
but it's an orange Lamborghini D8. Do I get to add that?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
you do.
That seems appropriate.
All right. Well, here goes nothing then.
Okay.
7.
Okay. All right.
I did
all right.
roll
Here's a
a 1.
That's okay.
All right. So we're gonna say this is a D4. So D8 for traffic, D4 for Miami for a complication. 10. Okay, so
Oh no.
okay, so the okay, so the Clementine, so you're driving, you're like weaving in and out. We get like all of these cool, sexy glamour shots of like the car just like skidding in and out, and everybody's like side, side, side. And then like everything just like comes to a halt when suddenly it's just like you just wing the Lamborghini off another car, and then we like cut to everybody standing on the side of the road dealing with like waiting for the cop to show up. Hold on.
It's technically not hers. Did we not?
I mean, it's no, it's hers.
Okay.
It's hers. She transferred it to her own ownership.
Okay.
Yeah, I paid a job for that, so it's definitely mine.
So basically the client you end up having to like reroute your client, and your client goes to meet you on the side of the road next to this
Sorry.
like banged up Lamborghini.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Just look
and-
for the orange car. You'll see it.
Oh boy.
So Q, like this pretty like he's like in a suit, he's like a dark-skinned man, bald, with a beard, you know, very handsome, and he basically like strolls in and he has like coffee, like he went to get coffee for you all as like a thank you, like kind of like a peace offering, if anything. Yeah. And it says Marika.
She takes off her sunglasses and looks at him and says, "Hello. Yes, that's me. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, I'm DeMarcus. I brought you all coffee.
Well, how considerate.
Yeah, I hope
Just
you all
we
like
could use a little pick me up right now.
Yeah, I hope you all like dark roast.
Oh, I do. I do.
So he looks over at the Lamborghini. That's gonna cost you.
And Marika kind of just looks at Clementine.
I'm sure it will. I'll deal with that when it comes.
Where should we have this? Where do we want to have this meeting? And you like kind of like look around the street. And you just see like the person that you crashed into. They're on their phone tapping their foot. They're just like, oh my god, fuck. And you just like want to get out of their sight, but still be inside of the car. So yeah, like let's just make up an establishment. Like, what are you standing in front of that has like a nice big window?
Jamaican restaurant.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. So you take a seat inside of a Jamaican restaurant, and you discuss the job with DeMarcus Baptiste.
Marcus Baptiste.
Yes. So hold on. Let's find a song that'll. All right.
Jamaican restaurant song.
Yeah, I don't have Jamaican restaurant music, but but it's also it's South Beach, so I imagine like it's like upscale, like, you know, Japanese or sorry, Jamaican Japanese fusion probably.
That's interesting.
Actually, no, Jamaican Chinese. That's actually common here. Jamaican Chinese combos. All right. So you're like they end up placing this giant plate with like this teeny little mound of rice on top and some like and some chopped up like and beef and stuff and so that's what we cut on. And then you're talking with DeMarcus, who introduces himself as the owner of Inventions Worth Inventing. He's yeah. So yes, he it's a relatively small startup. He's a self-made entrepreneur who got his funding, his feet really on his first invention, which is very popular, which is a baby stroller scooter. So basically the stroller has like a platform that you can like stand on with one foot and then kind of like scoot your way down. So you're just like strolling down the sidewalk with a scooter. I mean, with your baby. And baby's nestled safe, and it gets you to places faster, gets you working out.
Very cool, very cool.
Yes. And then, you know, and he just like kind of shows off a bunch of different inventions. So yeah, you know, I did the baby shower cap, which is like this little ring that you put on their head that like kind of acts as like an umbrella basically, so that you can like shampoo them, but the water falls off and it doesn't get in their face.
Genius, yes.
Yes. Also, there is the self-twirling spaghetti fork for people that have like carpal tunnel or arthritis, right? So they just dig it in there, press the button, and the fork twirls around, gets the spaghetti.
Nice.
Yeah. And then there's also the Goggle Umbrella. It was like this big umbrella, like encased, and it has like this little window, little plastic window that you could see through. That admittedly not the best invention because clear umbrellas exist. So he lost a little bit of money on that venture. But so he's been met with some decent personal success. He just recently came out with a new invention. He's been trying to promote this new invention called the Dogbrella leash. So basically it's a leash, but it has a little umbrella that just kind of like inverts and like pops out over the dog.
To protect the dog from the rain?
From the elements, yes.
From the elements. You really you like to retool the umbrella, it sounds like.
Well, I already had a lot of investments in the umbrella business from that Goggle Umbrella, so I figured I would just refine my idea for something that was a little more practical. I mean, dog owners love things like that, so you know, just anything that'll improve the life of their dog. I thought it was clever. It was clever.
That's excellent.
Yes. And so like I wanted to, especially because I had lost some money on the Goggle Umbrella, I really wanted to kind of hit this one with a bang, right? And so I I hired Spread Media to run an online advertising campaign for the Dogbrella.
Right.
And, they have amazing reach numbers. So I did a lot of upfront investment on the advertising, expecting, that kind of reach to really do a lot. And they had a lot of access to animal lover apps and stuff like that. So, but turns out the return on the investment was way under what I expected, to a point where I'm on the verge of bankruptcy. Now the thing is, Spread is very reputable, right? So I'm concerned that there maybe, I can't prove it, but I'm thinking maybe they inflated their numbers or something and made me think that they were more valuable than they actually are.
Okay. And do you have any proof of this?
Well, he passes a, he'll give you a sheet basically that kind of shows all of their numbers breakdowns and they reach millions of people basically every week. And so the numbers look really impressive. There's a lot of really good reach, and but as far as proof, no, he doesn't know. It's just the return on investment was substantially less than he expected. And mind you, the focus groups all said that the Dogbrella would be a hit. So he's confused as to what happened.
Where'd you hear about us?
Well, through the grapevine of people that need help. It's funny. It's funny. The actual Leverage TV show, I don't think they ever explained how people found out about the Leverage people. They just showed up and they're like, "Hey, I need help.
Help me."
They have a website.
If I'm being honest, I've never thought to ask the question until today.
I imagine you all have a nice looking website, and it's a you're a consulting firm.
Yeah. We provide leverage. Yeah. I don't know how that's a good business model, but sure.
Just point out to the Lamborghini. It's decent.
It works.
That's our whole promotional video. Is just each of us one at a time, dramatically looking at the camera and saying, "Leverage."
So, anyway, so he heard about you from actually his friend Marcos Cuesta. Acquaintance. Marcos Cuesta. Yeah, the guy who hired you for to help him with his grandfather's issue.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
We've got references.
Yeah. Word of mouth, keeping us in business.
Best kind of advertising.
Yeah, they're old high school friend. They've actually not really been in touch, but I think they they got reconnected with the issue on social media, and then he basically said, "Hey, you should try these people out if you're having some trouble," and that's how it came to you. Word of mouth advertising is powerful.
Yeah.
Better than Yelp.
Yeah, definitely better than Spread Media. Those
assholes.
Yeah. So if now that said, I honestly don't know if anything shady is going on. I mean, look, if nobody wanted to buy the Dogbrella, I get it, but the fact that it's underperforming even the Goggle Umbrella makes me really wonder exactly who these advertisements were actually reaching. So I'm just concerned because in inventions worth inventing is my passion. It's my self-made business. Like, you know, I've put a lot into this business, and I really, if I lose it, I don't even know what I would do with myself.
Yeah, I get it.
If the Dogbrella was just a bust, right? I would totally understand. But I just, you know, sometimes you just need to make sure. So.
Definitely don't want no shady advertising people getting in the way of your invention worth inventing. I mean, somebody out there's got to invent the inventions worth inventing, you know? Everybody else is already making the ones not worth inventing.
Exactly. That's actually our motto.
I just find the irony in shady business with an umbrella company.
Pun was actually not intended on this one.
Well,
nicely done.
I sit back. Clementine would say, I think we can handle this for you, but she's been slapped on the knuckles before by Marika for overstepping her.
Marika asks DeMarcos, is there anybody that we should start with? A contact at the company? Someone who handled your account?
Yes. Let's. Hold on. Where did I put it? I was doing business with name generator.
Where did I put that?
Let me just look through for this business card. Hold on.
Wow, this is a lot of menus just to generate a name. I just need a name. You'd think I would have had a name. I didn't. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so he gives you a contact. I'll give you the name in a second. But yeah, he gives you a contact of the person in the company. Like, he hands you the business card.
Okay, awesome.
And Spread Media is a Miami-based advertising company.
Okay. And is there anything else that we should know before we begin?
Honestly, this is as far as I. He doesn't know much else really. That's what he was kind of hoping he would get help with.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, DeMarcos. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. The name on the business card says Marisol Pavia.
Marisol Pavia. Perfect.
Marisol?
Marisol.
Like Marisol.
Marisol. Yeah.
Okay.
Marisol Pavia.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's it for me, unless anybody has any more questions.
Nope.
Who referenced you to Spread Media? Like, how did you find out about them?
Well, they're actually one of the biggest names in the digital advertising game.
Do you know of any other successful campaigns that have been going back with them? Other companies that you can name off the top of your head?
Oh yeah, I mean, they work with all kinds of people. Disney, L'Oreal, the works.
They did that unicorn poop campaign.
That's right. Yeah.
Huh.
Remember, Dean? All over Facebook.
Vaguely.
Those were funny.
Everybody's heard of him, Dean. Come on.
I'm sorry. That's not my cup. Do I look like I buy umbrellas?
Sloan's definitely heard of him.
No.
Just Google unicorn
Yes.
poop. It's really funny. Okay, anyway.
All right. So
Okay, excellent.
I think it's a good place to just like kind of cut, right? So
Yep.
I'll sort of skip us ahead ish. So Spread Media generally is pretty clean as far, like, again, they're a very reputable advertising company. So your goal would probably be, or I assume your first step is to start hitting up Marisol Pavia, seeing what you can get, possibly finding other and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah. I suppose that would make sense. Anything we can do without getting our noses dirty, we limited our choices last time by getting a little too involved too early. So.
Everything worked out. It's fine. It's fine.
all good.
It did. It was better than the first job we did.
Yeah.
We are learning. All right, Sloan, you want to do your thing?
Yes. So I can look up Miss Pavia. I guess I can pull up anything that is on the internet with
You can, yes. Anything specific that you want.
Pull up her LinkedIn. See how long she's been with Spread Media.
Yeah. So we can pull up her LinkedIn. We can.
I'd like to look through my file of the internet. Tell me if I find anything.
Yeah.
Let us go to www. Yeah, how long she's been working. We can look up her Facebook as well, like any kind of social media. We pull up that, and then
Any
I
of
can hack
that?
her phone.
Okay. All right. That's different. Yeah, because I was going to say, like, you could find all of that information publicly available, except for the phone bit. But yeah, she's been working with the company for about 10 years. She is, she's one of the not directors, I guess. Well, I guess it would be like a manager. Yeah, project manager at Spread Media. And yeah, if you want to hack her phone, absolutely, go for it.
Okie dokie. So that would be hacker and intelligence.
For sure.
Okay, so that's 2d10s plus Titania's a d8. 12.
Okay. Let's see. Advertising person would probably be a D10, or rather, not advertising person, but just like it's a Spread
Like
Media.
Savvy?
It's a big company. Employee D6. So, or well, yeah. So D10, D6. 13.
Ooh.
So you are unable to get into her phone.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Well, are we trying to meet with her?
Unless you want to spend one of your plot points. I remember everybody gets a plot point. If you want, you can spend your plot point to include that third die so that you get a 17.
Plot points don't roll over, right? So I don't have.
No. Yeah, we start back at
Leftover.
1.
Just have the one.
Just have the one.
Oh, and also, Clementine, you get a plot point for that one for the complication of crashing your Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, thanks. Don't we start with a plot point as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll use it now, and then I'll add a one later. Or like I'll take a
Nice.
disadvantage later.
All right, so you rolled a 17. Remind me, I believe it's a plus. If you're 4 or higher, that's a critical success, right? Does 4
I
or
think
higher
so.
sound correct?
I
I
do
think
not
it
remember.
was 5, I think. But I'll double check.
Yeah, let me know, because I want to say that it... Extraordinary success is 5 or more, correct. All right, so not quite, but hey. All right, so you're able to get in her phone. Let's see. Something that you find out. So she seems like a perfectly regular person. The things that you would probably find out about are that the advertising company Spread is doing business does business with a lot of apps, right? And they're paying, again, millions in ad revenue to all of these different apps. So I think we'll have you pull up a list of all of the different apps that not only that she represents, but also that the company is basically paying out to. so you pull up like this whole long list of different apps that they do business with. I want you to give me another hacking test, but in this case, I could still make it intelligence. Yeah, I want you to do another hacking test to just kind of like look through all of this information.
Okay. So that's the same.
Nice. All right, so I'm gonna put D6. You have the list, but D8 because it's a lot of information to parse through. 8. All right. Ooh, nice. So crit success. All right. So here's what you find out. You find out that there are a lot of apps who are. Let's see. These apps are as when you go through the app store and you look at the different apps, you notice that there's a lot of kind of similar names. And when you do the there's also like legit apps, but you're also noticing that there's a bunch of apps that are what appear to be, especially after you dig into them further, shell companies. And these shell companies are, you see them all around like British Virgin Islands, Croatia, Bulgaria.
Bulgaria?
Yeah. And for the crit success, because it was an extraordinary success, I think you'll go even in a further a layer deeper. Those shell companies are, let me see, I just want to make sure I don't like give away too much of the game here, but that it's appropriate information. Okay, I'll give you this. These apps, which are, like game apps, a flashlight app, a selfie app that puts little stupid filters on it, etc. Like all of these apps that you wouldn't really suspect of being particularly like popular are generating millions of views. Like millions of users. Which you just find strange.
Can I clarify? There's shell companies and there's apps that appear to be.
So the apps that are like these stupid apps belong to shell companies in Croatia and Bulgaria and all that, right? So like in the App Store, it's it's by Best Apps, for example. And all of those different apps have like millions of people that use them. And when you look at their when you just like kind of open an app, you are seeing like ads for Disney and L'Oreal and stuff like that in them, which, all things considered, is strange because those kinds of brands wouldn't typically be advertised in little apps like this. I guess I should like better phrase it. It's not that there's millions of users that downloaded the app per se. Well, no, I
hear what you're saying. It appears to be artificially inflated numbers.
Yes.
These like dumb filter apps should not be getting that kind of viewership, but they are, and it's big name corporations that wouldn't necessarily target these little places. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Is it known that all these companies that are producing these apps are all part of this same company, or is that something that is not commonly known? Like, is that difficult to find? It's
difficult to find. It's very decentralized. Like, you find lots of different company names that all have a web of applications that are all performing well.
Okay. So my point being that it's not like this one company. It's not like Spread Media is able to boast the success of all of these different apps because they're obfuscating their ownership of it.
Right. Well, actually, okay. So Spread Media doesn't own any of those apps, and as you go through like Marisol's phone, it doesn't seem like she knows anything about these different shell companies either. So she's not. It's very clear to you, like, she's not in anything.
Okay.
And the company is paying millions to these different shell companies without even realizing, like, who, like, again, they're generating lots of views, which then automatically means, like, okay, you're entitled to X amount of the advertising dollars.
Got it. Okay. Very interesting. So either Spread Media is being dumb or shady. I feel like shady seems likely. You don't just lose millions of dollars and remain a successful business.
Well, they get a lot of clients.
I think it depends on what their revenue is. Their revenue stream is actually like. They could have just had someone launder it out of the business, and then maybe in the midst of suing. There could be a myriad of things there.
Mm-hmm. I think
seems like a pretty obvious problem, though, and yeah.
Marika, can you give me? I think this is a good time to roll intelligence plus mastermind, just to kind of really.
Oh yes, I can roll that.
Figure out what's happening here. Like, you're connecting dots. For me, I will be rolling Shells and Fronts D12 and yeah, D12 and D6.
I'd like to propose. Can I roll my distinction driven, single-minded, and focused? I feel like Marika would be a little obsessive about this.
Yes.
I think this would be a -1 as a D4. She would be like too focused on minutia of this.
Okay. You have to beat a 17. Are you sure you want a D4 or do you want?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know the roll.
Yeah, I rolled like almost max on that.
Maybe I'll roll a D8 instead. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's about to go up. Exactly average.
Yeah, this is totally out of your wheelhouse. It's out of your wheelhouse, but I maybe want to give you a thing. You've heard of Best Apps, this company that's in Bulgaria.
Okay.
And you're aware that you actually recognize it as let me see. It rings a bell. You don't really necessarily recognize it. So you have Sloan maybe look into it, and then as part of her success, right? You analyze some records, domains, and public information, and basically Best Apps is Best Apps is linked to is linked to another. Okay, here we go. It's linked to a shell company. So this shell company is linked to another shell company. It's called We Buy Apps.
Shells all the way down.
Yeah.
And I think too, I may have an advantage here because I do speak multiple languages. I don't know if Bulgarian is one of them, but
Let's
she
say
speaks
that it
Slavic
is,
languages.
because I thought you were Bulgarian.
Oh, okay. No, it's confusing. But yes, perhaps she spent some significant time there. Okay, yeah, so that could be an advantage. I don't know. If we're just looking at titles, then this wouldn't be clear in with the titles, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got double shell companies from Bulgaria. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where to go from there.
Yeah, We Buy Apps. Their website, just basically, like if Sloan looks into it, their website lists their location is headquartered in New York, but it's like a residential address, and then but the phone number is a UK phone number.
I think that Marika is going to pull everybody together and talk things through. Shows kind of what she's found and wants to kind of hear everybody's take on it. So why would they spend millions of dollars to people who make pretty much nothing and advertise to just about no one? What do you think the game is here?
Well, if they're shuffling money around, there could be these spread media might not even be the big kahunas. They might just be little fish in this big pond. They don't even know what's going on. Shell companies hide money, so that's the main reason to have one. I mean, I suppose there's legitimate reasons to have a shell company, but I don't suppose we'd be getting called if the odds are it was all above board.
I don't even know what to make of it. I've been racking my brain on this, and one, it's so out of like Dean's alley, but two, his guess is just like, well, let's just go in, let's employ them, and work from the inside out.
That's one way to do things.
I like it.
And then we follow our money.
Get in their system.
So
Making track transfers.
But there is a risk, an inherent risk in that. If all they're doing is taking unsuspecting schlubs like Mr.
DeMarcus.
Mr. Baptiste, and taking their money and moving it around and making it disappear for their own benefit, then that's not going to help us at all. We're just going to be the next schlub in a long line of schlubs. So what I'm saying is we got to come up with an angle that's going to make us get further.
The best thing that you got right now, right, is there's like this big tangled web of like, again, shells and fronts and some kind of you're not exactly sure what. Sloan, if you could give me this is just like kind of a thinking it through kind of thing, right? So an intelligence hacker. So don't use Titania, but just kind of it's meant to be like thinking about how an online thing like this would work.
Got it.
Or like what potentials there are. Is Scrim's camera okay?
Can you see me okay, Oz?
No, it's down on stream as well.
No. Okay, I will leave and come back.
Well,
that's a 1.
Yes, it is.
Huh, and a 7. Yeah.
That's in
Welcome back.
really bad.
Yeah. So Same dice pool as before. Yeah, no. Yeah, you really have no idea. You have no idea. We Buy Apps is probably the most interesting to you. We Buy Apps is if you want to kind of, what you're gauging is you can either go the We Buy Apps route or you can go the best apps route. So do you want to go to New York or do you want to go to Bulgaria?
Where was We Buy Apps?
We Buy Apps is New York. They're the New York address that has a phone number in the UK, and then there's Best Apps, that's in Bulgaria.
As online trail, I'm more curious about the We Buy Apps because that sounds ridiculous. But they're not like houses, like you can't, you know. So I guess I'm more curious about the Bulgaria route. Like if there's like a headquarters in Bulgaria and we get to go there, my vote is to visit Bulgarian headquarters.
I love your logic.
I just want to go to Bulgaria.
It sounds lovely this time of year, you know?
Oh, it is. It's a beautiful country.
Yeah. And if Marika says it's cool, then it's cool.
All right. So we're investigating Bulgaria.
Indeed. Let's go to Best Apps.
All right. So, cutaway. You're on your way to Bulgaria.
This is excellent.
So much fun.
So cut to the plane, landing, and you exit the airport, whatever the airport in Bulgaria is called, and you're all in your.
It's multiple cities.
Well, yes, fine. Fine. Let's say you land in Sofia.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. You land in Sofia, Bulgaria, and it's winter still. So winter here is way different than in Miami. So you all brought your whatever winter clothes you happen to have available to you, or that you purchased for this trip, so you think like brownstones covered in snow, so it's got like this very like gray snowy haze, and like all of the trees are just like these brambles. So these leafless brambles, and the buildings are no taller than like 4 or 5 stories here. It's got a very like small town, middle class, Eastern European meets a little bit of Turkish vibe.
All right.
In the architecture, and everything, like all of the signs are in Bulgarian.
Dean's at home. This is perfect. He knows nothing. He leans on Marika for everything. Please. I know nothing here.
You all have your Bulgarian phrase book. You picked up at the airport. Marika's frozen.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, now you're good.
Yes.
Now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm attempting to fix the problem. So Marika confidently walks through the airport with her puffy fur-lined jacket, and kind of like impatiently stops and waits for all of you to catch up.
I'd just like to say I've got like Duolingo or something in like AirPods or as I'm walking through, so that I can pick up some Bulgarian. I'm looking for the bad words though.
Those are the ones that come first.
Yes.
Clementine doesn't bother. She always, wherever she is, she always just.
She's right in her element.
Yeah, everywhere she is, she's meant to be there.
Yeah. She doesn't even try to use the words. She just speaks in English, and they're like,
Yep.
oh.
she just like raises the pitch of her voice a little bit and makes it a little sweeter sounding, and usually gets what she wants.
Awesome.
That's her experience anyway, so she doesn't have any reason to think that it'll be any different here.
So now that we're here in Bulgaria, what's like the lineup, right? Like I was just gonna approach Marisol or see if she was on like Tinder or something, and maybe try to meet up with her. This seems like a big leap.
You frisky devil, you.
Well, I mean, trying to get in with the devil at this point, and I feel like I'm lost. Please put a leash on me and make sure I don't wander off.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll stick together. And I have the address. Can I say I've secured some kind of like Airbnb or something across the street?
Yeah.
Like we can stake out. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a very, very comfortable Airbnb with many rooms and.
That's
Very
probably the title of the listing too. Very, very comfortable home.
It's pretty luxe. It's pretty luxe. There's champagne in the fridge.
All right, so you're doing like a stakeout
Yeah.
of the of this. Yeah, so the building across the street, think of it, it's like a 4-story brownstone, and it just looks like this very nondescript kind of like office building. If you looked at like just general records, it's like a bunch of like different little office spaces, right? So like rent an office space. Dean, do you have anything? You have stuff for evaluation.
Do I?
Yeah, you do. You have that specialty
I do.
evaluation. Mm-hmm.
Know how to get out, or who is who in the room.
Yeah. So,
looking for big identifiers here. We're talking broad strokes, my friend.
yes. So let's do alertness plus. Oh wait, evaluation is tied to a roll, isn't it?
Hitter. It's tied to hitter.
Okay, so let's do that. So, yeah, because
alertness plus hitter.
Yes, and then plus a D6 for specialty, right? Specialties are D6. Yeah. I'm gonna do a D8 for snow and D8 for reasons.
Raisins.
Okay, all right, here we go. Fingers crossed. Please don't
Did you say raisins?
For raisins. Yeah.
Reasons. Oh, nice. Just barely. All right. So through the haze of the snow. I mean, now mind you, you've all like gone through the champagne at this point, hanging out, busting your brains, trying to figure out what is it that these people are possibly up to. And Dean, you notice something climbs out from, climbs into one of the windows. You see like a body just kind of do like this acrobatic tumble on the outside of the building and just do like and you see like they do that thing, that like little that suction cup cutter window cutter thing.
They turn.
Yeah.
I immediately look down to the amount of champagne that we've gone through. And then I just point up and I say Bulgarian Spider-Man. I'll point up to the glass. I don't know if he's gone through at this point, but I can imagine that the window is up.
You just watch, you're the only one to catch like this person just like whoop, just very smoothly launch themselves in like a pro, and then like everybody gets up to the window and they look and they're like,
That was either an acrobat or Spider-Man. I am not sure, but they just Cirque du Soleil right in after cutting the glass.
Really? Cirque du Soleil. Interesting choice of words. They had the suction cuppy things.
Yeah, the sucker cutter. That's the official term.
Right. Yeah. In the thieving rings, that's what they call them.
Right. Listen. Dean knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. We both know what we're talking about. And so, that's very interesting. Into the specific window that we're observing, I imagine.
Which floor is it? Is it third floor?
Fourth floor.
Fourth floor. So top floor then.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, something's going on in there, and we need to find out what it is. We can sit here talking about it, but we need to see what happens.
Are they closed for the day? Is the building closed or?
No, you could walk in. I mean, well, you would probably have to do like one of those. They probably has like one of those buzzer boxes, right? And you have to like get buzzed in to be able to go up. But
sure.
Aside from that, it's an open building.
Okay.
It's open to the public.
Is there a roof? Can I get on the roof easily?
Is there a roof?
There is a roof. And if you want to do something from your acrobatic gymnastics days to get on the roof, and
that's kind of what I'm thinking. What I meant is it an accessible roof?
It moves all from the earth. All
the roof is accessible. Yes. Yeah, you have to do some climbing.
Are you sure you want to use one on this?
All right. So we kept raising it ironically, so we got rid of it.
Nice.
Okay, guys, I'm really tired. Okay, so
yeah, you've had a lot of champagne, Marika.
Yeah, she's a little tipsy.
You're like,
Okay, floor, open ceiling plan. Okay, I'm going to climb up to the roof. That's my plan. In between the windows so no one sees me.
Oh, DeMarcus would clean up here. They've got no roof. Imagine the rain, man. The umbrella company. We should be in Bulgaria right now.
Wait a minute. This is all coming together.
I swear to God, if we get up to the fourth floor and that's DeMarcus up there, I'm leaving the game.
What is remind me, what is the nature of this building? Like, what do they do? Is this?
It's rented office space.
Okay, so it's just an generic office building. Okay.
Yeah, generic nondescript office building. All right, so you're climbing on the side of the building.
Yeah, let's do it.
Marika, all right, so tell me, what does that look like for your team? Who are just like looking out the window through the snow. As they
watch me, you mean?
Yeah, unless anyone else is joining the climb.
He's
definitely not.
Dean is joining, pushing a button and going up the stairs.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my plan, is to go in. But I do want to see. Clementine would definitely be in awe of what's happening and then go inside.
Mm-hmm.
I think too, Marika doesn't do this terribly often. Like, this is like at least in front of him. So she she says, "I'll be right back," and she like fully outfits, fingerless gloves, leather cap, and she heads outside, and
she's really short, isn't she?
She's very short. Yeah, like barely 5 feet tall, like barely 95 pounds, yeah, maybe not even 5. And well, maybe I should roll it first before I describe what it looks like.
Sure.
Or is this just a thing I can do?
Here's what I'll have you do. I'll allow you to go up the side of the building. I feel like that'll be easy for you. It's if you're gonna hop into that hole in the window, then I would say that's where you would roll. So because I at least want to give you that cool moment and then see.
Yeah.
The jump off a 4-story building into a hole in the window. That's where I would like you to roll.
Fair enough. That's a fair point. Yeah. So Marika is like she's like a wave moving over the wall. She just she looks up at it, kind of looks around, nobody around, and just sort of undulates up the wall as though she was just walking down the street, and she ends up right at that window and kind of grips onto the side and looks down at everybody and just nods.
A cable car goes by.
And she's wearing I imagine this is a dark building, like she's sort of blending in a little bit. I mean, if you really looked, you could probably see her, but yeah, she's sort of pressed up against the wall.
Okay, perfect.
Waiting for them to buzz.
Perfect. All right, so who's buzzing?
Well, me and Dean are definitely going. I'm gonna try to find out if there's like a main office here to inquire about something. Is it nighttime?
Yes, it is. It is a very so think dark nighttime. It's just basically the snow and city lights.
Okay.
And car lights and stuff like that.
So there's likely no one in an office there for me to speak to.
Potentially.
Okay, well, we'll do that. While I'm going in, I want to get Sloan on the horn and say, "Hey, Sloan, sweetie." She does this often, and it annoys you. When they're in business mode, she doesn't have time. She reverts back to talking down to people.
I'm like, hey, how's it going?
I need to find out where in this building that room is that both Marika and our spider person is heading into.
Got it. And then so I can pull up the schematics of the building.
I'll do you one better. Is there like a body cam or maybe you hold up a phone around the area or something that you're what am I calling it? You're live streaming basically to Sloan at all?
Sorry, about Clementine or
yeah, Clementine.
Sure, I can. That's fine.
Because I feel like this would be one of those funny leverage moments where Sloan would just go, "Can I see the call box?"
Yeah.
Right. Sure. Yeah. There's a call box, huh? What exactly? Something fancy you can do with one of those? I point the camera at it and you can hack it or something?
And Sloan, you see best apps on the fourth floor. There's a button for it.
If you see that button third from the bottom that says best apps, you just buzz it.
All right, now I get it. No need to get snippy. Do I have to buzz to get the door to open, or can I just walk in and will the...
you'd have to buzz, or you could try and just push a button.
Okay.
That you think, there's someone that you could speak to. Or you could try pushing if you're buzzing best apps, it might disturb the person that's up there now.
That's what I'm thinking, and I don't necessarily want to do that because I don't want to spook them and then have them bump into Marika on she's coming in the window and they're like, oops.
Oh, hello.
So I want to see if there's an office button.
I mean,
office button.
A button for a main office.
It's just a bunch of rented office space, so you could do...
is there no on-site?
There would probably be a credit card kind of swipey thing.
Okay.
So it's just an entry. Entry pass.
Is there that complication that I got earlier? That one. Did I get anything for that?
What was the roll?
You just got a plot point, right?
For. Do you remember what that was for? Oh, that was to figure out what the web of stuff was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to make a thing for that, wouldn't I? I guess it would be just D6, very or what is it? Confusing network. I don't know. That's the best I can come up with. Just there's a lot of, it's hard to untangle.
But I didn't get a plot point then for having rolled the 1.
No, you do get a plot point for getting the 1.
I do.
And
okay.
I write down D6 confusing network. So now I have that as a
thing.
Yeah,
as a complication.
He's keeping that as a complication to use against you later.
Got it. Okay, so I would like to use my plot point because, hey, Clementine, you remember that thing I gave you?
Oh, right.
That can get you into those old-timey electric buzzer buildings without having to be buzzed in.
That's right. I remember, and it unlocks the door because I put it right here in this card swipe thing and poke it in, and
The buzzer inner.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a buzzy spoof. So
it's right here in my clutch.
All the technical terms tonight are just.
We're killing it. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, that's one of Sloane's talent, right? Isn't that a talent you have?
yes.
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Called
Yeah, so
remember that
so
thing.
mechanically, what does it give Clementine?
It gives Clementine a D8 on any roll by reminding them of the sweet piece of gadgetry. And then I would describe how the gadget will help.
Mm-hmm.
If I had used it during a flashback, it was a D10.
All right. So Clementine, let's go ahead and roll. Wouldn't be intelligence. Would it? I don't even know what I would call this. I guess.
What?
Alert. I'm trying to think of an attribute that this would be. Probably alertness and thief. Yeah, because you're like keeping an eye around, trying to just in case anyone sees you. Alertness plus thief plus the D8 from the thing she gave you.
It's a good thing that Clementine is experienced at breaking and entering.
This is just a basic office building, so I'm doing D6 plus D6. Nope.
Right here.
So basic.
Got an 8.
No. All right, cool. So you swipe the card. It works just as she said it would, and it goes, bleh, and then the door just like unclicks.
Sloane, you are a genius.
Thank you. I know.
Tuck it back into my big puffy coat. And I say, come on, Dean, let's go.
I'm on it.
All right. So you climb your way. Like there's no elevator here. You have to like actually like physically go upstairs. And like the building is like this musty. It smells of like musty old cardboard.
Was there just one stairwell?
Just one stairwell, yeah. It's a main stairwell, and then just like the office, like a couple of office doors on each floor. All right, so you're making your way up, and you notice on the third floor, just as you're about to make your way to the fourth floor, there was one of the office doors has been like bashed open. And so there's like splinters, and when you look through like there's a window that's been like just broken into, and there's like, so all of this like wintry wind is flying through.
Is that a window on the wall that I'm on?
It's no, it's on the opposite. It's on the back of the building. Y'all wouldn't have seen it from the from where you were, and you both hear like this kind of lumbering coming down the steps, and this strong man, this like 6 foot muscular, mustachioed, bald, like bowling balls for arms, just like
So like Literally, like a strong man. Like
Literally a strong man, yes.
The tight tank top with the thin.
Well, I mean, it's also winter,
Unitard.
right? So,
Is it
so
tiger
there,
stripes?
no unitard, but like,
Okay. Thank God.
yeah, but
Dean may have
street
met his match.
clothes. Street clothes. Steps into view. He's on the 4th floor, and he just stares you down. Can I help? And he kind of. He'll say in an accent that's not quite Bulgarian, "Can I help you?"
It's not quite Bulgarian.
hey there, how's it going?
Is he just assuming that we're American? Because
Are
I'm
we-
upset.
Yeah. Are we in the stairwell? Still?
Yes, you are in a stairwell. So think like you're on the 3rd floor looking up, and the strongman is on the on the landing of the 4th floor looking down.
And that's the best apps floor, right?
Is the 4th,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. We seem to be lost. Trying to find the 4th floor. Somewhere on the 4th floor. Are you heading in the same direction?
Yes.
Perhaps you can help us out then.
No.
Does Marika hear this? Do we have comms open? I imagine.
Yes.
Marika
For
would hear
sure.
this.
This isn't the
For
person
sure.
that I saw going through the window, right?
No.
Okay,
This
all
this
right.
man is massive.
Perfect. That's excellent.
Yeah. I think Marika's gonna pop into the 4th floor as quietly
Okay.
as possible. Begin
Excellent. So,
coming around the other edge.
all right. So go ahead and give me your agility plus thief.
Okay.
And would you like to add a distinction for a D4?
A D4? I don't know if
And
I
a plot
should.
point?
I feel like the
But those juicy plot points, though.
I love me a good plot point, but I don't want to fall to my death. So
I mean, it's just a complication.
I would like to add a D6 for my specialty of showmanship.
Sure. Yeah.
And see if I can do this with a flourish.
Okay.
That's cool.
And then you don't want the D4 anyway? It would just be a complication. You wouldn't fall to your death.
Might be. That's fair. It could be a complication. Let's make it also. I'll add D4 for unconventional.
Yeah.
I suppose that's an unconventional way to get in a building. That's fair. It maybe wasn't the best choice, but okay.
Directly
Here
as intended.
we go. 10.
Not bad.
All right.
Too shabby. Not too shabby.
I'll call this, again, scalable building, but height. So a D6 for scalable building, D8 for heights.
Okay.
Okay, you're good. Okay, no
All right.
complications. So yeah, so describe how you go through with a flourish and land in the in that office.
She does like she's sort of, there's like a smooth part and then a ledge on top of the window. So she does sort of like a leapfrog where her body's kind of spread out, and then she pinches up and does like boom and like jumps to the window ledge, and then like goes out like perpendicular to the building, and then puts her feet in first, does like a flip and lands.
Nice.
Very
All right.
nice.
Yes. So you head goes up, and
We
first
should be
thing
videotaping this. It could go viral on social media.
from the outside, maybe, but if she's wearing like a body cam, all you would see is just like a lot of motion,
Buzz,
and
yeah.
then she's inside. So what you see is, again, a dark office. There's not a lot in here. There's like a desk, and where the computer would be is currently missing, and it's in the hands of a little teeny acrobat who looks at you and says, "Marika."
plot thickens like molasses.
You know, that's your old thief. That's your old thieving buddy from the old circus team.
Oh,
Thief
oh
pals.
my gosh, my thief bud. Gonna scramble to find some names here. I don't know if I ever gave you any. Please hold. Let's go back to the giant man.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. Basically, sees that you've just jumped in, and she goes, "No time to chat," and she runs out. And she says it to you in Czech. She's like, "No time to chat," and runs out and zips out. And from the Dean and Clementine, you would see, you hear the scampering out of the office, and just kind of like this little body bumps into the strong man, looks down and says, "I don't think we're alone," but says it in Czech. So only Marika kind of like understands that
She's talking to the big guy?
to the strong man, yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? The voice on comms, now that you think about it, that voice on comms also sounds familiar because he used to be on your thieving team as well.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the circus performers.
So I think Marika rounds the corner and says to them in Czech, I want to see if there's something I can. Okay. Says to them in Czech, what kind of racket are you running here?
Nunya?
That's universal in every language.
Yeah. What is Czech for Nunya? Nunya.
I know that one.
Nunya.
Yeah, it kind of leans back. It's been a long time. I see you're still up to your old tricks.
I see you've got a new team.
Yeah, landed on my feet.
So like this conversation is happening in Czech. So like just leaving Dean and Clementine like,
Rude.
If he makes a move, I'm going to go for this guy's legs. He think he's all top heavy. I think I can bring him down the steps.
yeah, you want to do it?
Dean,
Do it, because I don't think our hitter has ever actually hit anybody. So let's do it. Take him down.
I don't know what's going on. I just know that now Marika's on the other side and they're having the Czech conversation. I'm way out of my element. I'm just going for it.
I love
All right, go it. Do it. Strength plus hitter, please.
This is gonna end poorly. Okay, so D10 and a D10. Then I'm going to utilize some distinctions. Foolhardy, winging it, and yeah, we're gonna go with those right now.
All right, do it. You're doing any D4s on those? So we get plot points.
You know, this man's got his bicep is as big as my head. I don't think it's valuable at this point.
Remember, you need to rack up those plot points for the end.
True. And we have not been rolling a lot of ones.
You engage in final action, you spend improvised weapon asset. I don't. Oh my god, there is nothing that is an improv. I can't. Balls. All right. Sure. I'll take that.
The
D4.
banister. You can take a banister, like you could rip out a chunk of the banister and use that as an improvised weapon if you want.
Disassemble the staircase.
That's amazing. See, this is the best crew. Sure. Let's do that. So that's a big dice pool. D10,
Yep.
D10, D6. There we go.
See, you can afford a D4. Throw that in there.
Yeah.
Get a plot point.
Sure. Got it.
So I think he is going to roll D10 for strong. Actually, probably D12 for strong man because he's like prime, and then I think, but also a D4 for being distracted, like off guard with Marika. So that's what I will be rolling against you. But you go first.
Okay, got it.
9, and you got one complication.
And you got a one.
Sure.
Hey,
Bad
that's
roll.
a plot point.
All right, hold on. Let's
Not
see
a good
if
roll. That's for certain.
so. We'll say the complication is D6.
Zipper down.
Height disadvantage. Or ooh, no, let's do this. D6 the weapon breaks like on his muscles. So broken banister.
Rock hard abs. D6 rock hard abs.
All right, so you like smash this thing. The thing just like breaks. Let's see what he rolls. Hold on. 3.
Oh my gosh.
You it's an immediate takedown. Describe how you do it.
That is I think.
Yay.
Wow. Sure. I tear off the banister, and as he's kind of turned facing Marika and they're speaking in Czech, I just wrap the banister up in his legs and sweep him down the steps.
So this guy just barrels down the stairs, and Clementine like sidesteps, like steps down.
These two hunky men going at it. She's a.
Like,
I'll get you a towel later, Clem. Okay.
And I think at that point, the acrobat, seeing that, her eyes kind of go wide, and she's like, bastards, and she's going to like grab the banister, I think, and she's just gonna like slide down the banisters, and she's gonna basically do kind of like, actually no, the way that I imagined it is like those kinds of stairs that are like U's, so like you could see down you could see down,
sure.
Right? So it's like kind of like an oval as it wraps up.
right.
And so
right.
she's gonna like hop down, and she's gonna do like step parkour down the banister.
Damn.
Trying to get away from you. So that's gonna be D12 acrobat. D6. There's nothing special
Can I
about
try
these
to
stairs.
follow her?
Yeah, absolutely. But she's gonna roll this 13.
Oh!
So you have to beat a 13 to catch up to her.
I'm gonna try.
Well,
I can try. I'm
all
pretty
right,
fat.
go for it.
Ooh,
It's
Clementine.
like TMNT in here, man.
Yeah. I'll give it a shot. What do I need to roll for to try to catch after? Because I
agility
wanna
for
grab
sure.
What she got. Yeah. Okay.
And probably hit her.
Okay. So that's a real good and a real bad, but
And you could add means business as a distinction if you'd like to add a D4 or a
'cause
D8.
This is exactly what I was describing before. It's like a clinch moment. She's like, "Oh, it's time to get down to business." All right. You said to add a what?
You could add a D8 or get a plot point for adding a D4 instead of a D8.
Well, I don't need to add a D4 to have a D4. I've already got a D4 for hitters, so.
I can also.
But that one won't give you a plot point.
Sorry, Bob. What were you gonna say?
Oh, it won't. You have to add a D4 to get a plot point.
Yeah, you have to choose to make your distinction a negative.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you
right.
get
You
a
get a
D4.
plot point right away for that.
Correct. And then if you roll a 1 on that, then you also get a plot
shit.
point.
I didn't
and
realize
yes,
that.
Dean, you
Okay.
get a plot point. That's right.
I was gonna see if while whomever is on their way down, since they're way better at this than myself, can I utilize one of my talents to follow up this banister and try to take her out mid hop? Perfect timing.
Ooh. Yeah, you could definitely try.
I love trying.
Well, let's start with Clementine.
Go for it.
All right. I'm gonna add it as a D8. I'm not gonna add the D4. I've already got a couple plot points, so. So I'll do that. See what we get. Well, that didn't go well. I got a 5. So.
All right, so we're gonna say
And
that.
I rolled 2 1s.
Yeah,
So
2
do
ones.
I get 2 plot points or just the 1?
Yes, you get 2 plot points.
Wowie.
And so that's going to be you. Okay, definitely you twist your ankle. So you're gonna have a twisted ankle here in Bulgaria.
Oh no.
Oh, twisted ankle.
Gross.
So that's D6 twisted
probably,
ankle. And actually, you know what?
Clementine.
I'm gonna because I don't really see a different complication I can give you other than like you're falling behind and you can't catch up, but you like twist, you like fall, you trip over the strong man, twist your ankle. So, and it's actually pretty bad. So I'm gonna bump up the complication to a D8 twisted ankle.
Oh, yeah. Well, that sounds appropriate. Twisting an ankle is pretty bad, especially on a job. I feel like Clementine decided to get a little too saucy with it and wanted to follow her in the same way.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. She's like, I got this.
All right, Dean, you want to give chase?
Yeah, I mean,
You see Clementine go down.
I imagine that I can pick, like, narratively, I'm looking at this, that Clementine goes over and just leaps down a row and just hits the stairs. Just, oh, God. And then as I'm throwing this down to try to catch her in the flight, like, that's when you see Marika going over the edge trying to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try that. What would I be using here, attribute-wise?
Agility hitter.
Perfect. Okay, so D8, D10.
And if you want to add anything,
I'll
winging it.
Yeah, I think that's what I can use. Winging it and my talent. Gain an extra D8 on your roll.
Your talent? What do you do on your talent?
Perfect timing. I'm waiting on her to
right.
hop back and forth. She's froggering back and forth from the steps.
Beautiful.
And
Nice.
Simon.
Very good point. Did you want to make winging it a D4 for a plot point?
I'm sitting on 3, and I feel like I'm going to get more. Just because I play loose and hard all the time. So
Sure.
I'm just going to go with this. So D8, D10, D8, D6. Okay. 10, D8.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's exactly. So just so you match her. So describe. So we haven't. She's gonna try and raise the stakes on you again. So like this is gonna.
Okay.
We're going on like a conflict, right? So describe how you're catching up. How you're like.
You cut out.
How you're kind of like. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So describe how you you're keeping up with her with the acrobat.
Sure,
carrying
I'm
the
picturing
computer.
this sort of like I don't know why, but like narratively, I'm thinking of it like a person who's trying to like follow like the King Cobra head, where you see like the hand following. But I've just got the pole from the 4th floor, and I'm kind of following her steps. And before she hits the bottom, that's when I'm just like yeet and just throw it straight down.
Yeet. Okay, so it just like whacks her in the head. She's like, ah, fuck, and she like drops on the ground. I guess like so she like falls 2 stories down and like kind of splats down on the ground, and she's like holding onto the computer like this, like keeping it safe, this laptop, and she's like, and then you just see her kind of like do a little back roll, try like a somersault, trying to run out the door. So she's gonna try to raise the stakes again. D12 I think I'm gonna go D12 D4 because she got the wind knocked out of her.
Okay.
9. She did not raise the stakes. So yeah, that means that you are able to catch up to her and just kind of stop her.
All right.
So you can
then
describe
I've
what
given
that
you the
is.
opening, Marika. That's up to you from there.
Yeah. Marika watches this unfold and like it's kind of like, oh, Dean. Jeez. Like she hasn't had a chance to see him very often.
I don't feel like that's a name that you can't say without at least a small amount of surprise. Oh,
Dean.
Dean.
Yes, she's gonna go up to Mr. Muscles here, and she crouches beside him, and I think she's so much smaller than him. She's gonna like put her knee on his chest, right on his sternum, and say, "Now, Boris, tell me what is going on."
So he's been like super weakened after being whacked in the back of the head, I guess, with a broken.
Oh, I just swept
banister.
his legs. His
You
head
swept his
probably
legs,
bounced
right.
off a few steps.
Yeah. So he's like concussed, and he's just like, we're and he's like looking off the side of the steps to see like how the acrobat is doing, and she's like splayed out, and she's like trying to scramble out of the way, but she's just like kind of looking like a drunk person doing snow angels right now. She's like, oh god, ow, this hurts. She says, all right, you want in?
You know I do.
poltergeist. Hacker crew. We're trying to take their millions.
Huh.
And I think that's where we're going to cut to break. So, stay tuned. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Poltergeist.
All right, everybody, stay tuned. We'll be back in 5 minutes and more leverage incoming in Bulgaria edition.
Thank you.
Eastern Europe edition.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Leverage here on the Shadowcasters Network. We're continuing our job here in Sofia, Bulgaria, because why not? And yeah, so you have had a run-in with Marika's old gang, who she used to run cons with. Right now, before we continue, just saying Bobby had to step away from the computer, probably he might be back in another 5 minutes. We'll know or not, but right now he's just going to be dummy charactered in. So, I think we're going to transfer over to like, a bar somewhere in Bulgaria that you can all hang out and talk at. And so I'm envisioning a old, small, very small, repurposed like Protestant church where they like cut up all the pews, right, and like put them around, like made them booths, and there's like tables with glass tops, and inside of the glass tops are different like memorabilias of like Bulgarian folk artists, and yeah, it's like a little dive bar, and it's just orangey kind of lights, dim, and it's not super busy, but the music is enough to kind of like drown out your conversation. So you get yourself a nice kind of like out of the way booth to talk at.
And I think Marika buys the first round for everybody, as a little bit of a, not apology, but acknowledgement of the abuse they've taken at our hands.
Yeah. So everyone, and then the strongman Boris, the acrobat Andela, and then someone who ends up walking through the door as you're all toasting. Everyone goes, the three of you. Well, I mean, all of you take your, like, slam your shot down on the table. Apparently, it's Nazdrave. Nazdrave in Bulgarian, and then you just like bang it and chug it down, and like the others don't, unless you like really studied your little book for cheers. Go Nazdrave as Nazdrave, and in Marika, out of the corner of your eye, you notice your third partner in crime in this team. Her name is Valencia. Can you describe Valencia for me?
What? Valencia?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Valencia is...
Problem with that.
Competing oranges.
Willowy. Yeah. She's willowy, and definitely taller than both Andela and Marika. And she also has long blonde hair, and moves with grace of a dancer.
And she sits, she takes her seat and says, well, this is an unexpected pleasure.
Valencia.
Are they still speaking in Czech?
Probably there, but then we'll say that you like swap over to English, right? As you like introduce everybody.
Yes, we are in a bar. We're in a Bulgarian bar. Okay. Well, if they're in Czech, I'm just like, sure is good lemonade.
Where are my manners? Yes, and so she goes around and does introductions of the whole crew.
Mm-hmm.
Clementine, Valencia, Clementine.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
I'm giving her like the
Sizing her up.
the like side eye, you know, like.
So you all like get your introductions, probably a couple more Nazdrave shots in, and then I guess let's talk. Share what you know, right?
Oh, turkey.
Dean's not even much of a drinker. Everyone takes a shot back and he's just throwing it over his shoulder, slamming it.
getting wet. I know.
Sorry about the banister. Yikes.
Yeah, Boris looks at you and says, "No, it's okay. Part of job. I suppose."
I would be pretty pissed off if someone hit me with a railing. Just saying.
Happens to me every day. I get over it. You get over it, right?
Yeah. I think I'll survive, Boris. I think I'll survive. Leans over to Sloan like, note to self, don't f with that guy.
Sloane's being like super geeky. Can we say, are they like an actual circus troupe? Like they've done circus things?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marika, go ahead and describe, like, I guess what would be your anecdote? You know how, like, you know, you're around the table and you just like talk about like, oh, we used to do the XYZ. Like, what's your anecdote for the group?
I tell them a story about when we were in Paris and it was after our show and we were all quite high and decided to climb the Eiffel Tower. But we got, you know, about like 10 feet up when the police started chasing us and we just kept climbing. and then Andala jumped right onto one of their shoulders and rode him like a horse.
Giddy up, little pony.
Oh, that was good.
Good times. Good times.
That was great.
I might stay here. This is getting better.
No, I do miss performing some days, yes.
So you're out of prison. That's good.
Yeah, well, you know, it was unpleasant, but here I am, a new woman.
Well, looks like we're on the same team, so to speak.
Yes, tell me how did you sniff this out and what exactly is your angle here?
Well, Poltergeist has managed to take approximately $600 million in advertising funds from America.
It's quite the racket. How have they gone unnoticed?
Lots of shell companies.
We noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. See, what they do is they purchase apps. They will they purchase apps and then they track users who use those apps to mimic them to look realistic so that they don't tip off any fraudulent viewbot style any programs that would detect fraudulent activity. And so by mirroring real users, basically you get almost realistic viewbots. Jacking up the amounts of views that they get, that each app gets, and therefore telling the advertising companies that this is how many views they're actually making, and it all looks legit and above board. They've managed to gyp advertising companies for hundreds of millions. and it's all divested into various different shell companies. So no one knows exactly how much they're actually ripping off.
Not a bad scam.
I knew the Dogbrella was shitty. Someone's gonna have to break that news to him.
So
Those
wait,
guys, not it.
explain this to me again. They're taking something and making it look it's worth more than what it really is.
Basically.
It sounds like they're running it, and
like
they guarantee that it would hit so many metrics, and it hits those metrics, but they're not legitimate individuals, so there's nobody really buying the product.
I gotta respect that. That's a classic gold brick scam right there. All right.
And Valencia goes, I know. I came up with it.
I like the cut of her jib.
That's how I know. That's how I know Poltergeist.
Look, I'm gonna level with you. I didn't like you, but I think I do now. You know a good confidence scheme when you see one, don't you?
And well, this was supposed to work out in our favor. But they basically took my idea and ran with it. And cut us out of the slice. That's how you say it in English? Cut us out of the slice?
Sounds right to me.
That's exactly how we say it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm kind of seeing where some things are going here, but I just want to point back to the three of you because now I'm kind of confused. I get it, you're the acrobat, you're the thief and the nimble one. Boris, you're the strong man, and somehow you decided to climb the Eiffel Tower, which is very confusing to me, but Valencia, what's your shtick? What do you do? Or what did you do at the circus?
She'll sit back and she's looking around and she'll trying to think. Watch this. And she goes up to like an old, like a one of those like classic 1950s style jukeboxes, and she just looks around and like bangs it. It pops open, and it's like this little tiny space that she could possibly fit into, and she just like starts folding herself inside of it, and then closes the jukebox closed.
Sloan is horrified.
Waitress passes by. Waitress passes by with drinks and says, "Shots? Nazdrave."
I'll take one now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared. Somewhat aroused. What are you doing later?
The jukebox like suddenly just plays something.
Somewhat aroused.
Starts playing like a circusy kind of Bulgarian song.
I'm liking her more and more every minute.
Just like toss the shot back.
Anyway, so she eventually like joins you back in the booth when the coast is clear, and she says, "Mariko won't admit it, but I was actually the brains of the group too."
Oh, bullshit.
I came up with good
Mariko.
ideas. I came up with good ideas.
All right, fine.
You're just the more unconventional one. I laid the foundation, and then you built on top of it. Let's say that.
One? Then I'm a fucking savage. Oh my lord.
I'm savage too.
Gracious as always.
Right on, Boris. That's what I'm talking about.
We all play our parts. Am I right?
Yeah. Some of us just take banisters off the wall.
Okay. So, you've got their information. Where are you going from here? Have you succeeded? Did we foil your plan?
Not if we split it. I think there's enough money for all of us, isn't there?
Are you just going to give it up just like that? Obviously, you need something from us.
Well, you have a hacker, don't you?
Look at
That we do.
Yeah, she like, cause the acrobat's like basically like looks at the laptop, she like pops it open. She says she pops it open, and she looks at it and she's like, It's password protected. That's why we need hacker. Passes it. We were pretty old school. We didn't really do the hacky techie thing.
That was the 90s.
Yeah.
I feel like this is Sloane's anime moment where she pushes up the glasses and you just see the light shining behind the
glasses. So I first of all, so the reason why I had asked if they'd actually done, circus things is because I am a huge fan. I know about all of their B-sides, and I'm really, really into them. I'm like really excited to get to do something for these folks, because like when I was a kid, I heard about that Eiffel Tower stunt, and that was excellent. So I guess I can hack.
It made its way all the way to America. What?
Told me you knew that story.
In certain circles, yes. I know all of the stories. I am all over the internet. I'm all over the World Wide Web.
Wow, you're smart.
Yes, I am. And so I guess that would be a hacking test. I can hack the computer.
Yes, let's do intelligence plus hacker.
Okie dokie. So that's a 10 plus 10, and then may I also use Titania?
Absolutely. Yes, you have your laptop with you for sure.
And I'd like to be smooth because I'd really like to impress these folks. So may I throw in a D4 because I don't have any plot points?
For Suave?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it.
Sweet.
D4, I love it.
All right, so let's see. So this is this is Hackers D12. Hackers D12. The computer is currently in Bulgarian, so you kind of have to like figure your way around that. So that's going to be D12 D8.
Okay.
Marika's like translating.
17.
Oh my lord.
Shit balls.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I've got Titania, I've got my thingy.
Stop tipping the table, man.
This is unusual. This is roll 20. Yep. Do you want to spend?
You just need one plot point and you get it.
You did get the plot point, so you can spend that plot point right now to include the 3 into your result. So you'll get an 18, and then you can hack into it.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
All right.
Solid roll.
Yeah. So you're breaking through the different layers of like codes and firewalls and other protective whatevers, computery stuff that no one understands except you, and you almost trip something that would have like wiped the computer clean, but then you're just able to go and just you like undo it real quick, and bam, you're in. And now you like see all of these different like protected files, all of which are in Bulgarian. So with Marika's help, you like start navigating, and with Boris and Angela and Valencia, right? Everybody's like crowded around this computer and looking at Bulgarian stuff, and it's like, oh, click that, look at that, look at that. And so like everyone's like sharing the information and talking back and forth. Poltergeist, they are so basically this has a whole breakdown of best apps, specifically this company, right? And so it shows all of these different apps that they have, that they use another company called Beta Web Ads to basically be the one that deals with generating these different ads. And so what you end up, long story short, you end up finding that this is one of their computers that generates bot traffic. like for all of these different apps. I think with and we'll just go ahead and roll this all into one. You find the you're able to locate an IP probably. Like you have to like bounce around for a while to like get to triangulate the position, right? But you finally find the IP address of a of like a central kind of network, possibly. Like you find a server here in Bulgaria. It's underneath a is currently underneath a I kind of want to like I want chat to come up with this one. I want like something interesting because I thought about a hideout and I'm like, now I just don't like it. I want to kind of like have something interesting that we can all infiltrate potentially. Yeah, where are the poltergeist located? Chat. I should have come up with this. Museum. I like that. Yes. The poltergeist. Thank you, Gen Human One. The poltergeist. This server is located inside of a museum. Bulgarian.
Would ever suspect?
Yeah. Bulgarian Science Museum.
Nick. Evildoings.bg. Bad guys.
Yeah.
.biz. Okay, cool. What museum? Which museum?
.biz.
I want to find a Bulgarian museum.
Bulgarian Science Museum. Yeah, the Science Museum of Bulgaria. What?
The Museum of Socialist Art. That's the one.
Better.
Yes. Sophia too. In the
Nice.
Museum of Socialist Art.
Excellent. All right, so
makes me so happy.
they're using a server under the Museum of Socialist Art.
Gorgeous. Okay, awesome. And Marika says, "Oh," and looks at the other three and says, "Do you remember the job that we pulled in there?" The three Europeans.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Hold on. I have an idea, but I just want to make sure I'm. Yeah, when we went in and we painted all of Karl Marx's beards red, his mustache and beard, painted over it.
That was good. That was great.
Yeah, nothing like devaluing art, I say.
Man,
All art is bullshit.
Oh, well, we have a story about that. Who said art is bullshit? Which one of them said?
Probably Andala.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah.
All art is bullshit.
Right?
You're bullshit. Leave art alone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dean.
Valencia is like, whoa, wait a second. I thought you looked familiar. You're Florida man.
My art is dangerous.
The one and only.
We were actually at Art Basel. Perhaps you missed us.
We did.
Perhaps we did.
Yes. I guess we were working different jobs.
You've got your fingers in everything.
You
Any
know
chance
us.
you taped a banana to a canvas and sold it for an inflated price?
No. We did. Here's this is a story for another time. Let's focus. All right.
I don't think my liver can handle any more storytelling tonight.
All right. So why don't we do this? Let's. Do we want to just like cut straight ahead to the Museum of Socialist Art?
Do it.
All right. Let's just start like right in the middle of it. Where do we? And like let's just see where it takes us. Right in the middle of this museum. Heist, sort of like you're trying to get into this museum, trying to get to the lower levels of where potentially security is located. Where do you all see yourselves being?
By some kind of like in a, what's the word where they have all the monitors and it's really cold? Not the monitors, the computer CPUs.
Actually, hold on, I'm gonna use this one.
That's in
The
the
server
server
room?
That would be a
Yes.
server room.
Yeah.
The server room. There we go.
But that's where we're
Computers.
trying to get.
That's what you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
You're trying to get to the
Oh,
server
well-
room
Sabrina's
downstairs in the
I
museum.
just see myself.
I'm already in the server room.
I'm already there. I figured. Okay, so then
Also in the
I'm.
Queen of England now.
I'm trying to get into like the security feed then. Like I'm near the security room, or I can't think of words. Like
Well, where would you?
This security control room kind
yes,
of deal.
yeah.
See all the cameras and stuff.
See,
Yeah.
but you would have to get there. So like, I guess I'd kind of like, we need to get you to that spot. Where would you be? Like, I don't want to necessarily be starting like on the outside of the museum, but I want it to be somewhere like in the middle of the job where you're
Got it.
trying to get to that space. Like, what is the conceit of?
Is there like an event and going on? Am I costumed up?
A gala? A gala?
Gala? Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's have a gala.
Gala.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
have a gala. Let's have a gala.
Perfect.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
Bulgarian
the
one.
exhibit is it's a bunch of satirical art of Americans calling Bernie Sanders a socialist, and they're just like he's a centrist. What? He's a centrist in Europe. What is this? Yes, the theme is come dressed as your favorite socialist. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hashtag topical. Okay, well, you want to get into the control room then, yeah? Alone?
Yes. I feel like that's where I can do my best work. I could have sewn up a caterer's costume. That's helpful for all of us. But I
That's a
gave
good one.
Bub like tearaway pants, and
Perfect. Perfect.
Is it, he's in a tearaway tux?
Just
Yes.
in case.
Just in case.
yes,
Just in case your clothes try to get in the way of your
Yeah, that's
work.
right. I feel a
Yeah.
moment where I have to flex in front of Boris, and I'll
Okay.
take advantage of it.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
That's a great idea, yeah.
so we're, let's condense that into a sentence so I can wrap my head around it.
So we're working
There's a
the
lot
event,
going
right?
on.
We're working
Yeah.
as what the word just completely evaded my mind.
Caterers?
We are caterers.
Thank you. I don't know. I
Yeah.
want to
I'm
say
words
caterers.
today.
Or maitre d'. Is it maitre d's?
No,
No,
waiters.
I don't know.
No,
Waiters.
waiters.
Yeah,
Wait
the people
staff.
like walking around with the
wait
wait
staff,
staff.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
walking
the
around
best
with their
for
derbs.
this kind of thing.
So that's Dean and
Clementine's
Sloan
wearing a
doing that.
sexy dress and trying to blend in that way.
Okay.
Work an angle.
All right. I see.
She's
I see.
attending the gala.
Yeah. I definitely see Andela and Valencia doing like sneaky thiefy shit throughout the museum, like in the ducts. So they're doing that, and we probably get like shots of them like popping out of a vent while like the acrobat is managing to evade cameras in the different like the exhibits that aren't being like open to the public right now. Just kind of like evades cameras gets to the camera and just like tilts it so that they can run through.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then Boris is, we'll say Boris is working security. He got himself on the security staff, so he's a bouncer, right? Marika, what are you up to?
Oh boy, Marika. I'm not sure.
Are you gonna be working the crowd with Clementine, or?
I think I would be. You know what? I think I would be in the crowd for this one. I'm gonna pose as an art critic, and she's wearing a.
I love that. Yes.
yeah, art or like a critic, and she's wearing a like very fashionable pantsuit. She's
All right,
sort of
excellent.
like sparkly pantsuit.
Excellent. So yeah, so you've come across the 50th Trump, the 50th Sanders in a socialist pose or socialist art, and it's just more of the same for you.
I like.
So what's first on the agenda here? What do we need to do?
So I think that being in control room will allow us to know where we can go being undetected. I think that's probably really key, and it can open up doors. So we get in there.
So we need to get into the control room, right?
Yeah. So
I
you're
might be
gonna
able
probably
to get us
hear.
a key card if I can.
Yeah.
Swipe it.
Yeah, you'll hear over the comms like Endela and Valencia, like they get to a point where like, oh, we need a key card to disable, so we can keep moving forward.
You think any one of these security guards will have one?
Seems likely.
It's possible.
Seems reasonable.
At the very least, I would suggest getting museum staff, someone higher ranking. And so like you see like there's
eyeball.
it's like one of those the two stands with like the lasers crossing, like you can't cross that, so like you need a key card to swipe past it. And you see the Valencia the contortionist, she gets into like a little vent and she starts sliding. She's like, I'm on my way, just pass the key card into the vent. When you get it.
All right. Okay, it's first question. Is there a male staff member that I can?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course there is.
Second question, is there a fruit? Is there a place with a bunch of fruit?
A place with a bunch of
like
fruit.
is there like a table
bowl?
with fruit that you can eat?
Oh yeah.
Table.
Sure. Yes, there's an apple tower, and all of the apples have carved in hammers and sickles.
Apples. Are there any strawberries? Something. I need something to work with here.
Bananas.
Yes. All of the. It's all red fruit. It's all red fruit.
Red.
It's all red fruit. So yes, cherries, strawberries, all of that. That's there.
All right. I'm gonna go and grab a little plate of strawberries, and I'm sure there's gonna be like toothpicks. I want to grab a toothpick to put in the plate, but I want to grab a bunch of other toothpicks to put in my hand underneath the plate that I'm holding.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to find this staff member. I'm going to approach him and stand near him as if I'm like saunter up, not like obviously approaching straight to him, but like, like I'm milling around and I end up over there.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So you see him. He just generally seems to be. He's like looking around the floor, like he's satisfied with his exhibit, and he seems to just generally be attentive. So he might need to be distracted.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, in the most like, in a subtly sexy way, I want to start eating some strawberries until I notice that he's taken notice of me.
I see.
Okay. And then once I have, then I want to talk to him.
Sure. Yeah. So like we turn. I see in the camera, and I'm going off of Nick Morgan's suggestion here. I see the camera just like this guy. The staff turns, sees you, and you happen to be in the exact same position as like this giant Bernie nude strategically covered in various fruits. You're in the same position, eating your strawberry.
Wow. This guy's gonna be so hot.
Yeah, he's like, I see him being kind of like mid-50s, shaved bald with like the big kind of like salt and pepper, mostly salt beard, and mustache, and he like walks over to you and he goes, "Are you enjoying the exhibit, madam?"
This is such a beautiful party.
Oh, American.
Yes, I am. I happen to be on vacation out here. I've got some family in the area, and I am a lover of art, so I thought I'd make my way over here. You must love art too, if you're enjoying.
I hope so.
When I was a child, I never got exposed to much art. My family, they worked they were farmers in Savannah. You ever heard of Savannah, Georgia?
I have not, no.
Oh, well, let me tell you. My family were strawberry farmers. They grew strawberries, and I point to the plate.
Oh.
Yeah. And but I didn't often get my hands dirty with the farming, but they would make their way out. Every week they loved to go down to Savannah, downtown to the farmers market and sell the strawberries. So but
how do Bulgarian strawberries compare to Savannah?
Oh, these are delicious. But you know, my favorite thing to do when I was in the farmers market wasn't my parents. They'd be distracted selling the strawberries, so I'd make my way into town and I'd make my mischief, like little girls do. And,
Marika, you hear in your earpiece right now from you hear from Valencia. What is he doing? What is she doing? Is she always like this?
Pretty much, yes. Don't worry. She's getting to the point.
Yeah. So I said, my favorite thing to do was there's this fun magic shop downtown, and I'd go in there and they'd teach. When I was a little girl, they loved my precocious self going in there asking about magic, and I loved watching them do the magic tricks, and they would teach me all kinds of magic tricks. And so I learned I learned some tricks. You want to see? You want to see something that I learned?
Sure, why not?
One of the tricks is here. Let me show you. So I reach into behind. I gently caress the side of his cheek and reach behind his ear and pull out one of the toothpicks that I have. Okay, and I show him, and I say, "See that? Now, of course, there was no toothpick behind your ear. It was just sleight of hand, right? But there's a trick, right? So there's all.
You sure I didn't leave it back there?
Oh, well, there's all sorts of different places you can. That's the thing they teach you is you don't always learn just the one place that you can pull things out of. You got to learn that you can find toothpicks inside of people's pockets, and like a front pocket from right here, I pull out another toothpick and I hand it to him. Like I want each one I want to hand to him, and I say, and you can find ones behind. So I'm like pulling a toothpick out of like his coat pocket down here, and I'm trying to distract him by touching him in different places all over the place and being very, very flirtatious. And I reach into his so the key card, is it like can I see it? Is it hanging somewhere? Is it in a pocket? Or
yeah, it's definitely one of those like clippy ones.
Yeah, so what I want to do is I'm making my way down from his head, down his body. I'll say this. Pockets.
It's one of the clippy ones that have like the string on the spool. Mm-hmm. So
the ones that like full clip off.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I'm distracting him and I pull one out of like his back pocket, like I've put my hand almost in his back pocket. I pull it out and hand him the toothpick, and I put my hand into his front pocket.
Oh, damn.
Opposite the clip, okay? And while I'm doing that and taking just a little bit longer to pull a toothpick out of there, I'm gonna try to grab the clip of keys.
This nice.
Oh, this is amazing.
All right, let's do agility plus thief. Yeah.
Okay.
Agility plus thief. Obviously, add your street magic. Definitely add your flirtatious. You want that D4 or a D8?
That's gonna be D8 for sure. This has got to be.
And then you have a bonus, right? For you have a talent of how you doing. How you doing?
Yeah.
All right.
So.
All right. Roll to seduce / trick Bogdan.
All right, so that's D10 plus D8.
Let's see. He is. I'm gonna say he's a museum curator. D10, but D10 and probably focused because he's looking around or he's interested in the tricks. But so I'm gonna say D10 D6. I think that's fair. Okay. So you have to beat a 7.
And how you doing? What that does is it adds an extra D10 to my roll. So
It's pretty good.
Here we go. I got a 15.
Nice. That's an excellent success. So yeah. So you unclip that sucker without anyone even noticing outside. Yeah, and he's just like, oh. Gorgeous, phenomenal. You're very talented.
I say, well, it was a pastime of mine and a hobby. I thank you for being so kind and telling me that. And I give him a kiss on the cheek.
What are you doing after the event? Let me buy you a drink.
Well, I'm doing whatever you're doing.
Nice. Okay, so I guess we'll do like a walk. Like, we got like one of those shots of you walking away and then you like passing the card along to somebody and then
yeah, I'm gonna get the card off the keys.
Night.
Yeah, and pass it through and all that. Yeah.
I definitely thought you saying nice was the character in game, so he's like, haha, nice. Yeah. Like a very Borat moment.
Who do you pass this key card to? You're not gonna be able to drop it in the vent. You're gonna have to pass it to somebody in the museum.
I can cycle around. I imagine holding a tray of drinks. I can move near if I see that she's making a move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whoever I need to. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, I'll do that.
All right. Cool. Dean.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me your alertness plus thief.
Okay.
To scoop up that card without anyone noticing.
Would I be able to use evaluation? Oh,
yeah.
This is to scoop the card. Okay, yeah.
This is to scoop the card.
All right.
So this would just be agility plus thief.
Yeah, I think that's that. So D8. 10.
All right, I'm gonna say crowd D6, disinterested D6. 4. All right, yeah. So like a pro, scoop the card, walk away, and you just like you're able to just like drop it in the vent, and you just see like these little fingers like pincer the card and slick it and like into the vent.
Before it goes like, seriously though, what are you doing later?
You can't see the wink on the other side of the vent as it just disappears into the shadows. So cutting ahead to the card going through, and Andella just like swipes and manages to like deactivate some of the lasers and then just like hops through the rest, gets to the other side, deactivates, and says, "Coast is clear."
So I guess I stroll on through.
Yeah. Yeah, you go through the exhibits. You know, when Boris will distract the security guard so that you can all kind of like make your whoever wants to go, whoever is available to go can like do a sneak through. So Sloan for sure. Marika maybe?
In the control room? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm figuring out what my piece is here, but that sounds good.
Okay, and then Dean, did you want to also be try and go through as well?
Sure, yeah. If I feel like I can get away with it. If I don't feel like there's enough people on the floor, then I don't want to raise any suspicions.
Right. Right, so maybe you can like catch up if you need to, but for now we'll say it's Sloan and Marika that go through.
Okay.
Yeah, because Clementine's definitely staying in the.
I'll just wait. That's what I'll do. Just see if anybody's like following through after that, or at any point they feel like they're moving that direction. Then I'll cause a scene.
Sure. Okay. So, going into the deeper layers of the museum, you manage to circle your way through like these different hallways, trying to find this server room. And when you finally get to it, you are going to have to break through the lock. There, it's not like a.
Ooh.
It's definitely like keypad. You need a sequencer kind of dealio.
I have a thing for that. One of my
Yes.
talents is safe cracker.
Ooh,
Nice. It's a good thing you went.
Yeah, so if I make a roll including my thief die to open a blocked access, then I get an extra D8.
All right, nice. So yes,
So-
let's make this alertness to make sure you know you're not being heard. Alertness plus thief.
Okay. I think that's it. That's all I'll roll. Ha! Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. That's not a good roll. Okay, so 2 more plot points for me.
Yes,
I've been there.
and and we're gonna bump that up. D8. Security alerted.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, let's see if you break through though. So museum
Mine's
security.
okay.
Museum security would probably be D12.
That's no good.
D12 plus. Well, museum plus security. I think that's probably, or no, security keypad. I don't know. I'll do a D12 plus a D8. I think that's appropriate for this kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
So
the
yeah. So
Museum
you
of
trip.
Socialist art.
They let anyone go anywhere.
There's some very valuable art. Plus, this is a server room. Also, the server room that you've triangulated this this scheme to be coming from. So so immediately, like you do your safe cracking, right? And you're trying to get in, and then all of a sudden you just hear.
Shit. Oh shit.
And everyone just looks at you and says, "Seriously?" No.
Everything's been going so well.
So perfect. Okay, well, I think we better run. We better get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and Clementine, you just start seeing like security on the floor here. They're already like being called to make their way to the back.
They're gonna be there real fast.
And Dean is dressed as security, yes?
No, Dean's
Dean's a waiter, but you also have Boris as security.
Boris. Well,
So
I'm
he's-
gonna get in touch with Boris
He's making his way there.
to make his way there.
Can I interrupt them?
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm gonna start walking like I'm going to someone else, and as they're passing by, just kind of like trip up and throw drinks.
I can
Yeah.
I can pretend like, you know, you were inappropriate with me and slap you and make you throw the drinks.
This is also fine.
Excellent. All right, so let's make this. Yeah, let's make this agility or maybe alertness. Let's do alertness.
Okay.
Alertness plus hitter. I think that's fair. Yeah.
All right.
And then definitely add some wing in it dice there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Could I utilize my perfect timing talent, seeing as they're moving?
Yes.
Okay,
oh,
perfect.
yes, you can.
So you said alertness and hitter.
So let's see. Museum security guard would be a D8. Alerted D8. So here. Oh my god.
Oh damn! Oh shit!
All right, so you have to beat a 16. I rolled max.
Oh geez.
Not like that, I can't, boss.
Oh my god.
If you spend a plot point,
Yeah,
and
that
add that 4.
Yeah, that would match it. That would be a 16.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hell yeah, I got plot points. Let's go.
All right, cool. So you include the 4, you're at 16. So you So you just like get into like this sudden like fake ass like you don't even realize what Clementine is doing. She's like, no, and she like smacks you, and then the drinks go flying. The security guards slip. Boris kind of like runs past them. Doesn't even help them up, and Bogdan is like, "Are you okay?" Young man, I'm gonna speak to your manager about this.
Just wide-eyed, just probably covered in alcohol.
All right, cool. So you've intercepted some of the security. You've managed to buy some time. Boris is on his way. He's running. You need to get through this door somehow. So what's going on downstairs?
Can't we just try and get in really quickly?
We could.
Do you have
a
like
better way to-
do you have that thing you gave you?
I don't have plot points, but
Is there a mechanic for giving plot points in this game?
There is
Flashback. Yeah, if you do
flashbacks for how we prepped for this.
or you spend a job.
That's right.
You can get yourself a free like the effect of a plot point if you can call back to one of the previous jobs.
I also can give you an extra die with my Archangel thing. Talent.
Yeah.
Depending what you're doing.
I'm trying to think of how to call back to the horny old man job, because I haven't called back to that one.
The other art one.
We haven't called back to any of them. They reset every session.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can use them every session. It's only if you buy a character upgrade with it that you can't use it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because I have like 4 plot points, so I have some to spare if there's a way I can somehow get one to you.
Okay. Call back. I'm trying to think of like something. Does it have to be relevant to the current job? This flashback is just like prepping for it.
Yeah,
It has to be something that, remember when this is like that time that we XYZ or whatever, and then you get like that, you get it basically as a plot point.
Got it. All right.
But yeah, it does have to relate to what you're doing now.
Damn.
it's not just randomly reminiscing in the middle of a job.
Correct.
Oh my god, I'm so stuck.
Boris runs in. He's like, "Hurry! You don't have much time." I'll hold them off if I have to, but I really don't want to.
Okay, so I asked Marika if she remembered when we pretended to be a harem, a secret harem, to bamboozle a wannabe, what's the word? Not pimp.
Rico Blanco.
Rico Blanco. Wannabe Rico Suave. Huh? We bamboozled him out of his millions by doing a bait and switch and pretending to be ladies of... pretending to be sex workers. Okay. That's very similar to this job in that we are bamboozling out of all of their money. I can't think of anything else.
So it sounds like you're reaching. So, yeah, Marika, you can give the Archangel dice to her.
Yeah.
And that way you can just roll your regular intelligence plus hacker, or I guess agility in this case. I'm going to call this agility plus hacker because you need to work fast.
Yeah. So let's do a 10.
And then Archangel, does that require anything special on your side?
I have to spend a plot point.
Okay.
Yeah, basically I give her a hand, and I think it's my mastermind die that I give her. So that's another D10 for you.
Sure.
So I'm like, don't do this. Learn from my mistakes. That didn't work.
Got it.
I need help sequencing the thingy.
Okay.
Nice. All right, let's see.
Than me.
Versus 2d8, you'll beat it anyway. So there's no beating. Yeah.
Sweet. And I got a 1.
Phenomenal success. And a 1. Oh, actually, hold on. There should be an extra d8 because security was alerted. I'll just roll that. Let me roll that right. Sorry. Because I can't roll just a single d8. Nice.
Fudge.
Nice. Almost. Almost. All right, so you beat
calm down.
Yeah, right? Like, this door does not give a shit about you. But you managed to break through because you matched. And you got a complication. So we're gonna bump up security alerted to a D10.
And then I get a plot point for that complication, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
So you break into the server room and you just see like a group of like these kind of lanky, like, think of your the stereotype of computer geeks, and they're just standing around like they just look, it's like, who are you? And they like say it in Czech, I mean in Bulgarian.
So I'm like, as I've pushed open the door, I'm kind of like out of breath. And I don't sweat because, I mean, I'm an excellent hacker. I knew I was gonna get in. But there's a slight sheen on my forehead because I was nervous about getting in on time. And I say, there's a fire. Can't you hear the alarm? You have to go.
Okay. Sure. Let's roll vitality, because you're like catching your breath plus grifter.
Okay.
To try and convince them that there's a fire.
That's 2d8s. Where are they?
They are, let's see. They are Hackers D12 plus unimaginative D4. Here you go. All right, you have to beat a 9.
Can I use my suave smooth?
I could
distinction?
see it. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Glad you did that.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think the complication is going to be because I think they're going to try to. No, they wouldn't raise the stakes, would they? That's not how that works. Face actions? No, it's an immediate, like, you get what you want. Okay. The complication is going to be they're going to I don't know, does anyone have any suggestions on this one? Probably like so you see, just to give you an idea, so it's, it's like a little geek den that they've managed to build under this museum. There's like posters, like say like Punk's Not Dead. There's like the Poltergeist, like the movie, the Steven Spielberg movie, but like the letters for Poltergeist are in Bulgarian.
So are they running out or?
Well, I mean, they're convinced that it's on fire, so I guess they're gonna like try and grab all of the drives. Let's do that. I think the
that sounds
it's gonna
like
be,
a good complication to me.
That is,
yeah. D6, grabbing drives.
Till they hit Boris.
Right?
Slam right into him.
Yeah, right. Okay, I think that Marika wants to deal with the security that's coming. So she's going to call out to the security as they arrive, and say in Bulgarian, "We found them! We found their whole operation!"
So the poltergeists are starting to freak out. I guess. So you're trying to get them on your side. Let's do.
Yeah, because they're museum security. I'm banking on the fact that they don't know this is going on.
All right, let's do willpower because you're being like forceful and grifter.
They were in on it all along.
All along. Can I add unconventional to that?
Yes.
I guess that's not true. Oh, okay.
No, it's not very unconventional. Actually, no, I guess you, like you literally just broke into the bottom of, like, into their basement and you're like, we found their whole operation.
I would call it unconventional. She's trying, we're trying to stop them, but so now, I don't know. Yeah. She's alerting the security, which we're trying to circumvent. Like.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh my God, why can't I roll anything today?
Okay, so let's see. So they were museum security. I think we said D8 D6.
They were on alert.
D8 D6, and then I have a D10 because they've been alerted. We're gonna call that complication. You're not supposed to be here, D6.
Oh, gosh.
Oh boy, there's no way I'm winning this roll. There's no way.
Who knows? Hold on, let's see. 9. Yeah. All right. So they basically like run in. Now I don't think they would have guns, but they probably have like they probably have like batons, and they like start wielding it. It's like, get on the ground now.
Oh fuck.
So now that I have two, so now that I have 2 plot points, I'd like to spend one, and give Marika do you have that thing I gave you? And it's gonna be a gadget that flashes a federal badge, in whatever country. Like, it changes depending on what country
Psychic
you're
paper.
in. Yes, psychic paper.
I thought you were gonna say like a Men in Black, like.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's an excellent idea, and we're gonna save that one.
Memory eraser.
Neuralizers don't exist in Leverage.
But like it's kind of like psychic paper, but electronic in that it shows whatever
Right.
needs to be shown at the time.
Yeah, and here in Bulgaria, where like all of the cars look like they're from the 80s, and probably are, yeah, this is gonna look like well above their station, I think, for sure. So, all right,
Okay.
so Marika, you want to try that again?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
So, that gives you a. If we do it in a flashback. Oh no! If you use this for somebody in their flashback, so it's a D8 that you get.
Okay.
Yeah. So willpower plus grifter again with a D8. They are still rolling their D8 plus D6, but they are alerted D10, and you're not supposed to be here D6.
Okay, so I'm going to add in my showmanship as well.
Yes, good.
And let's see if I have anything else.
You
Okay,
could
so
add
I'm
insult
gonna.
to injury, maybe?
I wasn't sure how to do that because I'm not injuring them, am I? I can just insult them. Like, insult,
I mean, if you
insult.
make them feel like they're halting an operation, I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
maybe see something like that.
Oh,
Like they're
okay. I know
inferior.
what. Yeah, I'm totally gonna use that one. I have an idea. So
Or driven. Driven, I think, works too. Like if you're just trying to
so
like
I have yeah. So she whips out this false badge, and she starts speaking in I think she's sticking with Bulgarian, and she says, "You useless mall cops! I am trying to stop an international ring of thieves, and you come busting in here!" And she's like, just starts kind of going off on them.
Nice. All right, here you go. You need to beat a 13.
Oh boy! Oh, that's a real good roll. Okay.
Of course.
Ah, you did it!
Finally, 14.
Some luck
Oh,
All
turning
right.
around on us.
at last! I'm so
Excellent.
relieved.
All right. So I think now is a great point. Like the museum security like turns, they see like these people like leaving their little hidey hole with drives.
They're hiding.
Yeah. Their den, their geek den that they've never really like super questioned. They just assumed that they were like just online
IT
security
people.
IT people, and they just like help you tackle them. Boris gets in on there, tackles them. Dean probably could get in there and tackle. So I think now is a good time to start the end game here, right?
Who's our mark here?
These guys, the poltergeist.
Okay, so all of this crew. There's no like one guy.
Right, it's an entire crew.
Okay.
I think probably though, Clementine. Actually, no. We'll say this because Dean, you're still on the ground, right? We'll say instead of you helping tackle here, Clementine, you see upon like Bogdan kind of like taps something in his ear, looks around and says, "Well, I had a pleasant time, but I must go." And he like starts walking. He like starts like quick walking out the way. And it's like it's becoming kind of obvious what's happening here. Who's actually the head of the poltergeist? So let's go over the rules again for how this works. All right, so
right.
wrap up flashbacks. Each crew member participating in the wrap up plays out their own individual establishment flashback, setting up some cool thing they did that's going to help the mastermind out or tilt the odds in the crew's favor. So you're each going to spend a plot point to take part. Does anybody not have a plot point?
All
Everyone
good.
has a plot point? Great. Okay. So, do it. Who wants to go first?
And you know what? I'm just gonna say across the board, I have 4 plot points, so you each get an extra D10 to whatever you're doing.
Yes. And you can, because you can spend the plot point for the player if you want, in which case
But
you
mine
also
isn't-
add the mastermind. Oh, I see, because you have Archangel as well. So you could actually do it twice if you really wanted. You could be like Mastermind, and in the wrap-up flashback, you can still already spend a plot point to give your Mastermind die to the pool of dice. So you can actually, if you drop 2 plot points, you can give 2 d10s.
Okay, well,
I didn't realize that. But,
you all get at least 1 d10,
Right.
and I'll keep the last one for when it's needed.
All right, cool. So that means that you all don't have to spend your plot points if you don't want, because Marika's spending them on you to give you the d10. She's spending it on your steed. So what does everyone want to do? Who wants to go first?
I'm so out of my element. I'm gonna opt out of first on this one just so I can figure out what I'm gonna be trying to do here.
Ditto.
So is the implication here the guy that I was sexing up? He's a poltergeist dude.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's getting away.
Bub.
Right.
He's
Well, I'm
getting
definitely
away.
going to be following him. I don't know what I would do until I find out what he's doing and where he's going.
So maybe you can set up your flashback so that you do know that.
Right.
Right.
So he doesn't have any keys.
True.
So maybe
So-
while he was trying. Go ahead.
Yeah, and what I want to note is it makes sense that if the computer is here in the museum, that you would have probably looked into the guy who like runs the museum here, right, and the curator, and you might have had something planned ahead of time in case he was involved.
Right. Okay. So he's probably at this point trying to make his escape, and so he doesn't have any. Probably be following him to wherever he was going, and eventually he's going to get to a point where he can't like either get into a car or go somewhere that he was trying to go because he doesn't have his key. He realizes that he doesn't have his keys. And I can be
yank those two.
Yeah, right. So I can be there, like having followed him, and as he's getting into his keys, I can be there leaning up against a wall or something, twirling the keys in my finger and be like, looking for these. And,
Nice.
Yeah. And we'd have to he'd have to be
I think he's desperate enough to try and lunge at you and try and like snatch the keys away from you. So you're going to be the active party here. You're rolling the dice first and setting the stakes, right? Because you're basically taunting him right now, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you're going to do let's do a vitality, because you're going to like basically try and evade him, right? Vitality plus hitter.
Well, I was straight up just gonna try to throw them into a like sewer grate or something. So.
Also, okay, so let's call that agility plus hitter.
Yes. All right, and let's see.
Twirling the keys on a toothpick.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Nice one, Jen Human.
Yeah, and I get to add a D10 to that, right?
Yes. Yeah, from Marika.
Marika say she was giving everyone a D10. D10
Yes.
for
Yeah, from
everyone.
Marika. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
Marika. Yeah. So she helped. She was like, make sure you take his keys. Don't let
Yeah.
him get out just in case.
Okay.
I could see something like that happen, right?
Well, I'm
Very
setting it at a
nice.
14. I rolled a 14.
All right. So he is ringleader D12 plus egotistical D4, and you have a twisted ankle, so he's gonna get a D8.
Fudge.
True.
D12, D4, and D8. Six.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah, so you just like those keys.
It like just flies off my finger, like shoo. Nothing but net right into the drain. Oh, whoops! Did I do that?
Excellent. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Well, looks like you're in a bit of a pickle.
Very nice. So you get to give Marika a D6 asset. So we'll call this. What do you think? Can't get away, or
exactly.
limited getaway. Like he has to be on foot.
I would call him. Yeah, he's
stranded,
cornered. Yeah, stranded or cornered, or yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna see that, and I think he's just gonna try and run he's gonna just try and run from the museum. So that's what he's up to. Dean and Sloan, having foreseen that he would probably run away from the museum in some way, what would you have done to prevent him from running?
So I think that, yes.
Also, alternatively, to consider, we also want to drain all of the money from their accounts and kind of figure out where all the money is hidden, do reporting to the authorities, to take this ring down. So maybe that figures into what you were up to in a flashback.
So I would have, when I opened the door and said, hey, there's a fire out here, I would have my Sloan clone 3000 Z.
I love it.
And so as the poltergeist guys are filing out of the doorway, I'm cloning all of their hard drives. Because it's a ZZ. I've enhanced my phone clone into a clone.
Sloan clone. I remember.
Super clone.
Remind me what the Sloan clone. Oh, the thing that you used on the phone.
The Sloan clone is what we cloned the phone. Sloan clones phones.
Yes. Excellent. All right, I like that, and I like that you basically called back to a job, so you have the benefit of a plot point in this scene if you want. So, what's something else I think you could do with? Let me see. Plot points. You can include more dice, activate talents, or create new assets. So I guess actually this would be the D6. Yeah, you could spend the plot point and be like, oh yeah, this is the clone phone ZZ. So you get a D6 for that. Plus, so yeah, this is going to be definitely agility plus hacker instead of intelligence, because you're trying to do this while during the middle of all this commotion, I think.
Got it. So plus a D6 plus I get a D10, right? From Marika. And may I also use my SWAT skills on this to slyly.
Oh yeah.
So plus a D8. Let me make sure. And Titania. Oh no, I'm not using my computer. Okay.
11. All right. Remember, ones don't count in the wrap-up flashback as complications. So let's see. They are hackers. They are D6 grabbing drives. So D12 for hackers. They are. I don't think anything else counts because you have them kind of cornered.
And Sloan could use a plot point to take that 3 too, because you can't carry them over, so you might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. I'm gonna say D12 plus D6. I don't really see anything else that would work here. Probably unimaginative. They didn't see that coming. Yeah, D12, unimaginative, D4, and then D6 because of they're grabbing the drives, so they were trying they were able to keep some of those away from you. 14.
Yeah, adding that 3.
Yep. All right, so you're spending
Yeah.
the plot point. You have the 3, so
Yeah.
14. Boom. So you rip all of the files. Describe what that's all like.
So as they pass by me, I don't know if y'all have ever, like, in a movie when somebody walks by with a magnet and like wipe every VHS clean. So
Yes.
that's as I'm wiping their hard drives clean. I'm taking all of the information and I'm bricking all of their stuff.
Nice. All right, so what do we want to call this asset? All
let's
of
call
their
it-
files. Or no, what's pwned? Pwned.
Yeah.
D6 for pwned. Excellent. All right, Dean.
I think I'm gonna go a bit of a different route on this one, just because I feel
Good.
like it's getting wrapped up in the bag here, and I think that there might be an oversight that nobody's considered yet,
Pause.
which is
Sloan
What?
pwns with the phone clone. Nice. Nice. Okay, I'm sorry,
Pwned.
continue.
my what I'm thinking in the oversight is I don't really know Marika's previous gang that well, and seeing as to how they may succeed and still leave us in the dark because there's no honor amongst thieves, I'm gonna leave my phone hidden in their vehicle so that it can be traced just in case they try to get
I
out.
like this.
Nice. Okay. All right. So let's call that
Maybe not my
alert-
phone, maybe just like a basic like a
Like a
tracer
tracker?
something
Yeah.
like that.
yeah, let's call that alertness plus hacker.
Okay.
And add a D10.
Add
I
the
will.
D10 for Marika. Yeah, because Marika is like,
Yeah.
Marika, what would you tell Dean about your team to get this done?
I mean, they don't have much to lose if we don't have anything to gain. So I would suggest that you keep an eye on them.
Yeah. Let's fingers crossed. Hey, 11's not bad.
11.
I'll take that.
Yeah, let's see. So they are D12 Master Thieves D12, and then I don't know. I think
Oz rolls on average 15 tonight.
Yeah, no joke.
yeah, right.
Same.
On 2d8s, 15. Yeah.
And they're on the take D8. So D12 and D8. Just
Ooh.
enough.
Okay.
So
And that was more of a setup for Marika than anything else, just in case, because it's her old squad.
yeah, so they fail to raise the stakes because they just matched, right?
I believe so, yeah.
How do you rate? I don't know where it says
I don't
anything
remember.
about. Yeah. To me, it feels like, yeah, raising the stakes is rolling higher than the player. It says it right there. So no, they failed to raise the stakes.
Okay.
All right, cool. So you have a tracker on the, we'll call this question for you. Do you
Okay.
want to do D6 tracking, or do you want to upgrade the pwned asset to a D8?
We'll upgrade. Yeah, that sounds better. I like that.
I don't know if that.
If we can.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I'm trying to think of like the narrative reasoning for it. Probably not, right?
I mean, that's
Well,
really
we
kind of your call, I
pwned
think.
them both. Right?
Yeah, sure.
We got the information. They don't have it. They're
Sure.
relying on our trustworthiness to give it to them.
Got it. All right, cool. So, excellent. Now, all of you have assisted. So, Marika, you have a D6 for
Okay.
you've stranded Bogdan. You have a D8 for pwned.
Okay. So what is this guy's name?
Bogdan.
Bogdan?
Mm-hmm.
Bogdan.
Bogdan. Yep.
So he's running away. Marika strides out of the basement calmly with the security taking these hackers out in restraints, and she is did we know about Bogdan? I'm trying to think of how I would catch up to him. Oh, I know what I could do. I'm gonna get one of them to call him, and I'm hoping that would allow us to track him down that way. Would that make sense? I could even just call him, like, I could grab one of their phones and just call him and talk to him over the phone.
Yeah, you wanna talk to him. So he answers the phone.
Okay.
And he answers like, please tell me you got away.
Yes, I think we're going to get away just fine, Bogdan. Good evening.
Who is this? And Clementine, you see like in the corner of your eye, he's like on the street. He's like trying to get on a cable car. He like hops on a cable car.
I'm going to invoke my signature assets, which is criminal connections. I'm gonna say that Andala and Valencia are on his tail, and they're on this streetcar. And I say, yes, who am I? Well, I heard that you had a very interesting scam going, and some innocent people were badly hurt and lost a lot of money thanks to your shenanigans. So I'm gonna have to ask you to step out of the streetcar. Like, I'm getting like info from Andala and Valencia.
All right. Is this? He's really. Never. You're insane. You'll never take me alive.
And I think at the next stop, they kind of like latch onto him and like pull him out of the streetcar.
No, you'll never take me alive.
And I say, yes, well, the authorities will be here soon, and I would like to thank you very much for the funds that you've acquired for us.
All right, so let's do alertness, because you have everybody like watching the guy, right? So alertness plus mastermind. Okay. Definitely adds insult to injury.
that's good.
For sure.
There's a lot of dice here.
Yeah, and you have a D6 for stranded Bogdan and D8 for pwned.
D8 for criminal connections.
Yeah.
Okay, alertness, mastermind. And then I've got okay, hang on.
D8 for adds insult to injury.
Okay, I've got them all laid out in front of me. So I've got this plus 3d8
and a D6.
D6.
All right. So let me mark up my dice as well here. Hackers D12. Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of fucked. I think, like, I really don't know how there's nothing else here. Patriotically, Bulgarian does not count here. So, yeah, this is just...
Okay.
Yeah, D12 plus D6 desperate, or D4 desperate. We'll say D4 desperate. So, here we go. You go ahead.
60.
Oh, yeah.
6, yeah.
Just
screwed.
Blew all that luck earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, describe just like the final little wrap up here. The bow on the cherry on the top.
The Bulgarian Sophian police get it tipped off and are brought to the place where Andala and Valencia have tied him up with onto like a bus pole with like a skipping rope, and he's like trying to get out.
You
They
haven't
take him
seen
in.
the last of Poltergeist.
Yeah, they take him in, and we head back to America to meet with DeMarcos.
Nice. All right. So you let's see the client. So what is it that how is it that you I assume you go back to the Orange Grove, you invite him there. Mm-hmm. Clementine's Lamborghini has been fixed. It's been in the shop while
She's
they went to Bulgaria.
now.
Yeah. And he what's his name? DeMarcus Baptiste, the client shows up and says, "So what do you have? What happened?"
Well, DeMarcos, we were able to get your investment back.
Really?
Yes.
All of it?
Yes, you were onto something, although I wouldn't bank on the continued success of the umbrella leash.
The umbrella's a bad product. Just hands down. I thought about this the whole time. It's a bad product. Back to the drawing board, DeMarcus.
It may not be your top seller in the future, but you were right that something shady was going on. I don't think your ads were going to any useful viewers.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm glad that you fixed it and that no one else is going to be scammed like that again.
Yep.
Absolutely. And she kind of leans forward. She says, "And if you'd ever like to go for a drink sometime."
Well,
Hey.
I just made. Well, I guess you're buying. I'm buying. I don't know.
We were well paid on this particular job, so I'll thank you for bringing it our way.
I suppose it's both of our, like he like, because he's like holding up the check that you just gave him basically for all of his funds back. He's like, okay, I guess I'm paying. It's mine now. I'll pay.
He gets like $100,000 and I have like 12 million. So like,
Yeah.
like it's like he like gets nothing. I'm like all right.
That's fair. You go right
Well,
ahead.
yeah, I mean, you could with all of the files that you've stolen, you could even like go through and like find all of these businesses that have, if you want, right? You could go through all of these different businesses that have been scammed, and you could basically just send them all checks in the mail.
Of course, that's what we do.
It's very leveragey.
Sure. No, totally. But
Yeah,
we still
so
get
montage-
a pretty sweet. I don't send
Oh, for
anything
sure.
to
Get a different cut, for
spread,
sure.
That's for sure. They're doing just fine.
Yeah. You definitely get a nice cut, for
Disney
sure.
doesn't get anything.
Yeah, no, fuck Disney. But like a bunch of other like, so it's like montage of like random people we've never seen before, opening their mail and going, and it's just like it's yeah. And so you've just like changed lives across America by fixing this scam.
Awesome.
Any final departing moments before I hit the fun music?
On this Valencia.
So
Did you ever go on that date? The three of you?
She only winked. She gave me a place. That's the real reason I put a tracker on her vehicle, because I need one.
Do you need to talk?
Yeah, closes with a picture of Dean walking a dog with a doggy umbrella.
It's
not the dog,
walking Zilla.
It's the game.
Zilla,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. All right, so we like close out on a shot of Dean and everybody like walking Zilla with the umbrella leash into the Miami sunset along the beach strip. And that's our episode of Leverage for today. What did you think?
Awesome.
That was wild.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
right.
sexual tension in that session.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
I was mostly curious. I think it was a bit heavier on the Clementine side there.
Fair enough.
Seriously, what are you doing later? It was fun. It was a good episode.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm
Lots
glad
of
you all
fun.
liked. So then, reminder to everyone watching that our next and final episode of this Leverage season, we don't know if we'll bring it back, so we're gonna make sure we go out with a nice big bang and see if this show gets renewed. Just like network TV. Monday the 16th, so in 2 weeks. Come and check us out. All right, outros for everybody. Starting with,
I'm going to start because I want to make sure that everybody here, before they leave, knows about that tomorrow night, me and Scrim are going to be back on this same channel again, starting at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be playing our second session of Kids on Bikes. We did it our first last week on last Tuesday, and it was a nostalgic 90s nostalgic romp that was it was absolutely amazing. So you want to be there for that. It's me and Scrim's running it, and then also Palmer and Cassie Paulhammer, who you've seen around if you're on the network. So you should really be there for that. It's the elevator pitch there is that it's a like I said, a lot of 90s nostalgia, but it's basically like if Stand By Me or Stranger Things or E.T. or something like that were an RPG.
It's a very enjoyable listen. I'm halfway through the episode and I have to finish it at work tomorrow. But
It has been a joy to run, and I'm so excited for tomorrow. So everybody
nice.
come.
That's at 9 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern. Check us out tomorrow. Well, on that note, Bobby, is there anything else that you want to talk about yourself?
Nope, that's the thing I'm most excited about right now.
All right, then I'm going to bounce up to Scrim.
Yeah, I mean, that's my other big thing. So come tomorrow. Watch us play Kids on Bikes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Nope, that's it.
All right, awesome. Sabrina, who are you? What do you do?
I am Sabrina. I am an affordable house in my day. On here, you can catch me on Night Witches last year, where I played with Scrim, who is an excellent GM as well. And I'm really excited about Kids on Bikes because I loved the first episode. So I highly recommend everybody watch it tomorrow.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in Night Witches, check out our YouTube channel, Shadowcasters Network, where you can watch all of the stuff that we've ever done in this channel's history. It's a lot. Definitely check out Night Witches. And finally, Bub, who are you? What do you do?
Hey guys, I'm Bub. I do a lot of tabletop stuff everywhere. I do this here on every other Monday. Thursday nights, I'm actually playing with Oz again. We're doing our season finale of Dogs of Dustfall, a Blades in the Dark campaign, which I'm pretty excited about. It's
Yes.
I think it's gonna be pretty emotional, I'm guessing. Every other Saturday I play on the Roll Forward channel, but pretty much through the rest of the week you can find me on my own channel, doing lots of tabletop stuff and a little bit of everything in between. We just wrapped up The Witcher 3 and I started Doom today, which is an insane amount of fun. And yeah, we'll see what happens from there. That's me.
Neat.
Awesome.
All right, and I'm Oz. I'm the Game Master. You can find me soon. We'll be bringing back Cyberpunk Red because we have to finish that off. So you'll see me and Scrim on that. That'll be later. I think we said March 30th was when we were returning.
Yeah, late March, early April. I can't remember the date.
I'll double check that. But yeah, keep an eye out. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I retweet all that stuff. And yeah, in Blades in the Dark over on the Bubs channel. And I've GM'd a bunch of stuff. Check out on the Shadowcasters Network YouTube channel. Check out Join the Anarchy. Check out the Sprawl. See me play Misspent Youth. I'm sure I've done other stuff. Cyberpunk Red.
Hey, Oz, what happens after
Paranoia.
Cyberpunk Red is done?
Oh, well, yeah, we're Join the Anarchy Season 3.
Yeah!
Campaign 3.
Oh, I've been thinking about my character so much. I can't wait.
I know. Yeah, so that's in the works. We gotta sit down and actually have a pre-session, like a session 0 meeting for sure. But yeah, that's in the works. So that's coming. So yeah, lots of stuff happening here on the network and on everybody else's stuff. So follow us all on these Twitter doobly-doos, and if you missed any of this episode, you will find that upload on the Twitch VODs or on the YouTube channel when we get it posted. So definitely subscribe to that YouTube channel for sure. All right. Also, thanks to chat. Excellent group of people, most of which are from the Bub. So thank you so much to Bub's amazing fans for following us here and supporting what we do, supporting Bub especially. We love you.
They're good people.
Love you. Yeah, they are good people. It's a great audience. Yeah, you and Matt's are a really nice audience. I love them so much. And when we play
Tons
Blades
of
in the
fun
Dark, I'm just
having
like, oh man, I love watching.
You're
chat
welcome
while I play.
anytime, all of you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. So I think that's everything. So on behalf of the Shadowcaster Network, good night, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.